Giddy up, go, little darling. It's only me. I used to actually say that when I was on the radio in Phoenix when I got out of the Marines. I got a job at K-Hat Radio, Khat. And they didn't like the name Kim, so they called me Tom. Anyway, and I said, giddy up, go, little darling. Come on in, shake a howdy. Here, boy. Anyway, speaking of that, what do you think?
LBJ.
Out of my storage stuff that I brought back from Florida, among other things, this is an actual Marlboro Man Stetson. And this is the white hat that they gave my dad when he retired from GE.
Looks good on you.
How's it look? I haven't
It does
seen
look good.
Does it? I love cowboy hats. I love my girl. I love cowboy hats.
You get a free bowl of soup with that hat.
Oh, I know you could. Try it. You want to try it on? Maybe my headset. Okay. Now the other one.
I don't look good in cowboy hats.
That's my Stetson, and you can wear it, cocked off the side a little bit if you go salty, like it's called salty. In the Marines, if you wear, when you've been in a long time, your uniform, you kind of do it off to the side and you kind of salute like this, and it's called being salty, or you've been around so long that they kind of let you get away with that kind of stuff. And this is my perhaps all-time favorite hat. I bought this when I got Jack the Good Boy down in Florida in 2009. I love this hat. I can't believe it's still, because it's plain, it's simple, it's straight, it's not goofy. It's just a plain
Not goofy at all.
straw hat.
Not goofy at all. On the goofy meter, that would be a -2.
I love these hats.
A hat like that will set a man back $2 or $3.
I love it. Well, no, that was cheap. Now the Stetson, I forgot how much. I don't know how much that is, but that hat is probably $30, maybe 20.
Is that a Panama hat?
Yeah, I was about to say that could almost pass for a Panama hat.
An Atwood, the hat that cowboys wear.
Because they make them in Ecuador, by the way.
So,
Panama
in fact,
hats are
let me
not made
see.
in Panama.
Because on that one, Kimmer, the hat part doesn't look as high as a cowboy hat.
Yeah, it's almost like a bandolero Spanish
gaucho.
Mexican gaucho hat,
Gaucho,
almost.
for the pampas.
I mean, and that's one reason I like it is because it's not real big and it's plain and simple, and I love
Where'd
this
Kimmer
hat.
go? There's an Argentinian in the room with me.
Anyway, there we are. So there's a couple of hats for the show. Boys, how was your weekend? Any excited? Did you go traveling? You take off in your car?
I went up and visited my nephews for Father's Day and birthday yesterday, and I walk in, and I sit, and they're all in the pool, so I got the whole place by myself, which means no Disney.
Oh,
Yeah. So I click on the U.S. Open. I'm going, okay, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to have the remote. The 4-year-old, the 2-year-old come in, see me with the remote. Come, and we're talking dog
Uncle
pile.
Pete.
Dog pile just pounding me, and I'm holding this up like
To
this
get the
over my
remote
head.
to go
And
watch
they're going
Snow
for that.
White or-
Yeah, it was fun as hell.
God. Well, anyway.
I won, though. I got the U.S. Open on.
There you go. Well, and Flounder, any exciting stuff? I assume you saw your dad?
Yep, we went to Lake Hartwell and hung out up there for the weekend.
Oh, really? Do you have a boat up there?
No, family friends. My mom's best friend, Pixie, is her name. And,
I bet I met her at the when your mom brought her friends to the show.
I'm trying to think.
Was she
if
there?
I don't think she
She had 3 or 4 of them there.
She did. I'll have to ask her if she's been to one of those events. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
That was a fun crew. That was a fun.
They like to have a good time.
Yeah. Now, so what you do? Like, did you go out on the water?
Yep,
or
they have a
just-
nice pontoon boat and a dock,
boat,
so
yeah.
we just hung out on the dock all day and took pontoon
That's
boat rides.
when I was married to the final wife. We had a boat, and at the same place that Wayne No Offense had his pontoon boat, and Hell's had the Sea-Doo. So we'd go out together, and we had at least one kind of craft to hang in them. Anyway, those days are fun, but they're, if you have a boat, it's a lot, and they say, the greatest day, the first day you buy it, and the day you sell it, and all in between, it's a lot of work and a lot of time. And if you're going to the lake, if you have dogs, you bring them with you. Can they swim? Are you da-da-da? I mean, it's always something. But it was fun for a couple of years.
Boats, kids, and cats. They're great when they're somebody else's.
Yeah, right. It's always good to go home.
Here.
Yeah. It's good to see you, boy. Kid's growing. There we go. Look, I got the got thing over there. The thing. Anyway, and speaking of Father's Day, I got 2 boxes in the mail, no note or anything, and I open them up, and one of them is a box of paper bowls. The Dixie bowls. Remember, a couple of months ago, I complained I couldn't find any Dixie bowls at the store. And a bottle of Head & Shoulders shampoo. Remember when I did the video, I couldn't find any men's shampoo.
Big Marl's best.
And other stuff that I had mentioned. Oh God, I hate, my mind is going blank. I can see the picture, can't say the word, of other things that I'd mentioned I couldn't find on.
I love this game, word association.
I couldn't find at the store, and it was from Jennifer, my daughter Jennifer, and had her notes. She left me a note that said, "By the way, I do listen to the podcast." I'm thinking, "Oh no,
no, don't do that.
No, you're not supposed to be listening to the podcast.
Stop right now.
I don't. No, that's very bad news."
Jennifer listening to the podcast, unfortunately brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net, 404-255-0589. That's Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net.
And I was going to say, Kimmer is going to do a YouTube and website plug right here.
What?
Absolutely. If you go to thekimmershow.net, everything is there. If you want to tune in the radio show that I call on Friday mornings, our podcast played at noon on Saturday. If you want to send us a check, in fact, I've got 5 thank you notes to go out. I've got thank yous right here to send to them. If you want to get in contact with us for whatever reason, if you want to get the podcast download, if you want to get the 106.3, I mean, whatever you want concerning us. And we're asking for one thing. Again, the podcast is free. So we would like you, if you go on thekimmershow.net, look for the YouTube, the bippity boppity, hit the bippity boppity, and where it says subscribe, hit that,
and you're good to
and
go.
You're done.
And
don't
it is
have
growing.
To pay, it's free. You don't have to go back.
We're up to like 417. So
yeah, we need to get into the thousands of people.
Yep,
and again, we have thousands of listeners, but only hundreds
it's free,
of subscribers.
So that's all you got to do is
again, just go to YouTube, thekimmershow.net, YouTube thing. Hit subscribe, and you're done. If you could all just do that, do it once, and it's over. Don't have to do it every time or log in or ever see it again. I mean, and again, that will help us because it means we might be able to make $7 or $8 an hour. Well, for the 2-hour show, that's $15.
Dreamer.
That's like $6 a piece.
Dreamer.
Well, all right, but I have a right to dream.
Dream big.
My name's on the ticket. I was mentioning Sarah. I had never heard of this. She sent me the cutest, fun thing for Father's Day. It's a tray of huge square ice cubes. And along with a tray of huge square ice cubes, I mean, they're like 3 times the size of it. In fact, have you even seen an ice cube tray, Flounder? Have you even seen an ice cube tray?
I've seen, well, yeah, I mean, I definitely, because they're normally 12. But the ones now, they're super stylish because they either have the round ones or the big square that fits like one in a glass.
Right, they're huge. Well, and here's the key.
Neither do I. It makes it awkward to
if
drink.
you're having a cocktail party. No,
exactly.
They fit, and again, they're really cool because it's huge, but it fits into the glass, and it takes up. And it just is different. It's a cocktail party.
Yeah, but you put it up, you forget. It goes.
Whoa, you don't. Oh my God! There's always something wrong.
Tip a tooth.
It's a really cool ice cube, big, huge, square ice cube tray thing, and with it, she also sent me a mold stamp of an American flag, and you can actually put an imprint of whatever you want. She sent to her husband's, to Dan's father in Pennsylvania. They sent him like a boat or something because he's in boat. So you can get these stamps that when you get the ice cube, you actually hit the thing in, and it makes an imprint in the glass. So when you give somebody a cocktail party glass, not only is it a huge, great big square ice cube, but it's got a little a meme in it or something.
How about an F. Joe Biden stamp?
Well, I bet you could. And by the way, every one of my dollar bills has that stamp on it. You know, no one's ever said anything. I guess they don't even bother to look at it. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and speaking of the podcast, have you heard about this? We're getting. In fact, I took a picture. Somebody just mentioned us here a second ago. Oh, come on, get to the film thing. Here we go. Hold on, 1 second. Here we go. We just got a notice. A guy asked me a question, and he said, in the middle of your podcast, there's a kinky pride fellow describing sexual orientation and interruption of the Kimmer podcast. Somebody's breaking into our podcast with a kinky commercial of sexual gay things or something. What? Am I wrong or what?
I'm assuming it's the media roles, so it's the commercials that are playing, and it's becoming, closer and closer to election year or election to November. So does it have anything to do with those kind of media buys?
Somebody's hacking into our podcast.
No,
they're not. No, they're buying airtime. They're buying.
How could they buy
it's
airtime?
It's the robots.
Oh my God! You mean to tell me they could just do that?
Yep.
Well, where's our share? If they're buying, where's my money? We got to split 3 ways here, boys.
Where is this happening?
I just got the message just now.
In fact, how are they listening to us? What platform are they on? How are they listening to us?
Well, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Joy Julian Spitz said, how come when we Google your show and some creepy guy butts in with an inappropriate advertisement, we're wondering if you hacked your podcast?
Quit Googling the show. Go to thekimmershow.net. And
you can go directly to the podcast park, and that's where we
don't Google. So they're like you; they're Googling things, and stop Googling things. It's because Google's evil. But evil.
you gotta Google to find stuff.
Not really.
Well, what do you do?
Go to thekimmershow.net.
No, I mean if you're trying to Google, what happened in history, you got to go to Google.
DuckDuckGo. No, you don't. You go to DuckDuckGo. You go to Safari. You got Safari on there. That's Apple.
I thought you told me not to use Safari because that was.
No, I told you not to use Google. Google is the last resort. When you can't find it anywhere else, go to Google.
No, you told me when I was going to Safari to look up stuff, you said, no, you should Google
go to DuckDuckGo. No, I've never told anyone to Google something. Go to DuckDuckGo.
All right, I've got that.
Which we put that
I'll start using it. I've got it.
Now, there's some things DuckDuckGo doesn't have, which you have to go to Google for. But, yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's what I was saying. All right, so
Hector's on YouTube. He says hello.
Hey, Hector.
I'm sorry, who said what?
Hector
and the family. Hi, Hector and the family. And how's your mom?
Buenas tardes.
And buenas noches. We used to go down to Mexico all the time to Acapulco or Cancun.
So you speak
and so
Mexican
forth.
very fluently.
Very well.
I understand.
And after it got for a while. Again, it's been years. since
Hector's
I was
Puerto Rican.
Well, I have no comment about being Puerto Rican. I need a little Puerto Rican. That would be if I had.
You need a little Puerto Rican what?
A little Asian chick is always the top of every guy's list.
I don't think they're Asian.
Or a little Puerto Rican girl. Just because they know how to treat they know how to dress and they know how to treat their men.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying.
They ought to use
I'm of course
know how to use a knife. Too.
Well, they do a lot of things.
And yes, Jennifer is watching.
What's that?
Oh, criminy.
Who's watching?
Jennifer.
Oh my dog. Oh God. Dude, go take a nap. Sell your chemical drinking stuff. What do you call that? What's the she has
Imbibe?
No. The new thing that's around.
It's like
the
a keto
new
thing,
huh?
that she calls it.
No, she said
kale.
The drink stuff that everybody's getting, and it's
protein shake.
No,
smoothie.
I haven't. I'm having a total mental breakdown.
Winston Churchill, Paris.
She'll type it here in a
ketones.
minute. If she's not too.
Ketones.
Ketones.
What is ketones?
Yeah, ketones. Oh, you don't know?
Is that a Motown
that's the new
group?
Thing. No, that's a new thing. In fact, everybody should go to Jennifer Peterson Ketones or something.
I love the Ketones. Their greatest hits album is the best.
She should put an ad on my. In fact, Jennifer, do a thing on my Facebook page of how to get in touch with you to buy your ketones.
Smokey Robinson when he produced their stuff.
And stop watching and stop listening.
La la la.
Go away. Ixnay on the old order day. In fact, she's going to be here in like 10 days or something. Anyway, okay, so now, all right, so we got the kinky guy, so that's a go. All right. Okay, well, I've got to talk. Oh, God, I got a billion things to talk about here. Oh, including an update from last week. I was mentioning my trip to Florida and back in my U-Haul truck, and I came back, and the guy said, well, you're going to have at the turnpike. Now, when I got on the turnpike, by the way, I went to Waze, and they said I should take the turnpike instead of the 75 all the way because it's closer to Palm Beach Gardens, where I used to live. So, which I did, but there was never a sign saying anything about any tolls. And there are no toll booths anymore on the turnpike. They're done. They're gone. And I said, oh my God, what a great. Now, again, I had not been to Florida since 2013, so I don't know anything what's going on in 9 years in Florida. And I assumed the governor took the tolls off like Georgia 400 tolls came off when they paid for it. So I figured, oh, good, this is really cool. Well, guess what? I get a notice. We have been notified that tolls were issued to U-Haul equipment bearing license plate so-and-so, your rental date and the contract number. You are responsible for this citation. You have to click below the itemized invoice or go to your U-Haul customer dashboard or pay to dispute the charges. So, all right.
How much?
So, well, let me just get
Cut
this
to
here.
the chase here.
Let's see. Apparently there are several. Let's see. 3:52 p.m. $3.20 $1 administration fee. $4.20.
Is there a total?
50 cents $1, $1.50, $1.70. It's $2.70, $4.80. I don't. It's probably like $30 or something.
Oh, is it really? That's
30 or so bucks. Now the problem is, so I drive on. Okay, this morning. On the way to the podcast, we have a time when we're going to start the podcast. I always leave early, and I always get here early, so I end up going into the nature preserve and sitting in my car listening to the radio for 20 minutes.
You're that creepy guy.
I'm that creepy guy in the forest preserve looking for trouble. You
looking
never
for
know what
something.
could happen. You don't read the Penthouse Forum papers. Pretty girl could come out of the woods saying, "I'm so lonely." Oh, aren't you so? Yeah. Oh, it could happen.
It ain't a single girl that's going to be coming up to your car.
I'm just saying. Anyway, so I'm there and I'm daydreaming, do whatever stuff I come here. So this morning I left particularly early because I wanted to go to the post office to drop off some stuff, and I obviously had to go to the bank because I wanted to put in some of our. I've got like 5 cheeseburger checks to put in the bank, and of course, being a holiday celebrated from yesterday's Juneteenth, everything is closed, including the post office and the banks, and there's nobody. Everything's closed. I mean, there's still some traffic, but I mean, I'm driving through. I mean, anyway, whatever. Why the hell was I talking about coming here early? Juneteenth. No, but there was another reason, and I forgot what it was. But darn it all, son of a gun.
Okay.
It's okay. Arrested. The Bloody Brigade hit ball. Also this weekend, I should know. You may not know. I've been going to the stable later in the day so I can get there after the horses are turned out because there's no fun just walking through and they're all in their stall. So it kind of affects everything about my day, which is fine, including traffic coming back. When I went to the stable, and so I actually took the time with a different schedule in my life to go to the driving range at River Pines because they're on grass 3 days a week and hit balls. And guess what, Flounder? Are we still thinking about a charity golf tournament this summer sometime?
Yeah,
or
I
this
think
fall
there's going to be
whatever?
something in the works, so I will ask about that.
I found another secret. As you know, I haven't played golf in 2 or 3 years. I've hit 2 buckets of balls in 2 years. So my golf muscles are gone. I mean,
Can any of this benefit a left-handed golfer?
What's that?
Can any of these secrets benefit a
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And again, it was I actually didn't start playing really, really good golf until I was in my 60s, retired in Florida. I was a scratcher, a 1 handicap, stuff like that. And won 2 championships at my Donald Ross course. Anyway, so I found another key. And although I don't have any golf muscles, my golf memory's back.
Yeah.
But so if I concentrate hard enough, but I found another key. So Flounder, I'm very excited. I'm going to get Danny McLefty, who's also a left-handed golfer, with you and your dad or something, and we'll go, do something at some point. But I'm kind of excited. Now,
I definitely want to get a couple. I definitely want to get a
crap.
lesson or two with.
What's that?
I definitely want to get a lesson with Danny.
I'm sure
Since he's a lefty and I'm a lefty, he could definitely give me.
I'm sure he'd probably love to do it. Anyway, I'll definitely talk to him. So that was kind of fun, and I found another secret. And sorry to bother you with the stuff. Okay.
I'm busy that weekend, by the way.
What's that? You can't work that weekend? Is that what you said? By the way, speaking my daughter Sarah, I've never seen this before. For her birthday, as I mentioned, I always send her a gift card from the TJ Maxx or Marshallwood and the Home Goods, whatever. But I also tried to get her something. I was going to get her a new pair of fancy sunglasses, which she wanted. But then she and her friend went to the place, and there was some special deals, so she got them on her own and sent me a picture of them. And I said, "Oh, those are you. Those are perfect. Those are you." She replied to me with emojis, and the emojis were 3 dogs and 3 tacos. What the hell does that mean?
Dogs love tacos.
What's that got to do with sunglasses? And I said, though, she showed me a picture of her in the sunglasses, and I replied, I said, outstanding, those are so you. And she replied, 3 dog faces and 3 tacos.
Those are positive
hell is
things.
that?
Everybody loves dogs. Everybody loves tacos. They're positive things. Saying, "Oh yeah."
Oh,
yeah,
is
yeah.
that what?
It's like I don't know. What do you think,
Flounder, you have
I
any
don't-
idea what?
I
is
agree
he
with
right?
Pete. I think that's the right. I think Pete's right.
But clearly you're guessing, right? I mean, you're
Yes.
assuming. But again,
Out of our ass.
how am I supposed to figure that out?
I don't know. Well, you're asking us.
No, again, I mean, if symbols have meanings, then shouldn't we all know the meanings? Otherwise, the symbols are meaningless. Maybe it means I hate you. I hope you kick your dog and hope you choke on a taco. I mean, who knows?
Maybe she thinks you have a dog again. You should feed it.
You should feed your dog. There, again, see a simple message. Feed your dog,
Feed
stupid.
your dog.
Oh, dear God. Sorry. Can I do a couple thank you things here? People send us a cheeseburger. Our friend Denise. God, Denise, you are so sweet. She sends me cards and a cheeseburger check at least once a month. Thanks to Pete and Flounder. You guys are a great team using the Kimmer Show website. Thanks for making things easier. I'll be watching and listening from South Carolina. I sure missed the Friday podcast. Oh, this one that we didn't do. I keep repeating the same thank you, but it's from someone who's very grateful for all the work you do to provide information that we need to know and be so very entertaining. It's a scary world, and you're calm. Okay, sometimes you aren't so calm. But there's always a laugh. Still adore all the horses, dogs, and cats. Anyway, God bless Denise. What a sweet, just a very, very sweet thing. A quick, very nice, huge cheeseburger note from our buddy Danny, who says, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, hey guys, still loving y'all's show. Here's a few more cheeseburgers. Sure hope things take off for the show. 1 million listeners, and that would be so.
Speaking of cheeseburgers, Wendy's now has strawberry Frosties.
Yeah, but they got rid of the vanilla.
Saw that. I'll bet, I'll bet that's good. I like strawberry milkshake. I wish they'd make cherry. How come nobody does cherry milkshakes? I love cherry flavor.
Buddy.
If I buy popsicles, once a year I'll buy popsicles, but I only eat the cherry ones. I throw the rest away. I love cherry popsicles. I love cherry flavored soda, cherry Coke, cherry Pepsi.
See, when I was a kid, it was either red or I like grape.
Well, go to Wendy's.
Grape too, huh?
When I was over in Clarksdale, I stopped at the Wendy's. I always stop there because it's really nice and clean. Everyone's friendly. I went in there, and he's in that machine where you make your own drink had something called Dave's Cherry Cream Soda, which I'd never heard of.
I'll bet that's good.
Unfortunately, it's chock full of caffeine. Why would you
you
put
don't do
caffeine? No, why would you put caffeine in cream soda? It makes no sense.
I love cream soda.
And everybody says it's great. It's called Dave for Dave, the Wendy's guy.
Cream soda was huge back when I was a
love
kid
red
growing up.
cream soda.
Cream soda. You had if you had a party in your basement with teenagers, they had cream soda along with everything.
I'll tell you that Boylan's to me makes the best. Doc Brown's is good, and the Boylan's is
Doc
really
Brown's
good.
Is that kosher? Isn't that what?
Yeah, it is kosher.
It's delicious. From Ron, is
You Jewish now, or
I'm sorry.
did you convert when we weren't listening or looking, or?
I could if you want. I mean, I'm well, I could identify. I could self-identify as one of our Jewish friends. Kimmer, enjoying the podcast. This is from a huge cheeseburger donor named Ron. Was a listener to the past. Glad to found your podcast. Hope this little bit helps. It's not a little bit. It's huge and enormous. Thank you. And again, if you go to thekimmershow.net, you can sign up. We'll give you an address to send a check, or you can do anything. Patreon.com. Oh, although I got a really nice. I'm glad you said that because I think I might have forgotten to write it down. Here we go. Oh, two things. Brandon, our friend Brandon said, "Hey Kimmer, don't use Zell."
That's a Wells Fargo.
Zelle.
That's a Wells Fargo thing.
He said, I was listening to episode 441 of the podcast. Pete mentioned a service through your bank called Zelle. Don't use it. I used it one time through USAA, and they made me answer a bunch of questions. What's my net worth? Where do I make my money? I said, I don't have to answer your questions, and they don't have the right to know the answer to the questions. They told me they're asking these questions because a lot of people make illegal transactions through Zelle, and they're asking members these questions to comply with the Patriot Act.
Screw the Patriot.
And I said, that's the most unconstitutional piece of legislation that's ever been signed, and I'm not going to answer your questions. So they said, we're going to close your account if I didn't. So I told them to kiss my ass and close my account. There you go. Take that.
Flounder, I just cussed, so in case you were... Okay.
Oh, you did? What, are you paying a fine now? And somebody else...
the swear jar's right here.
Somebody else sent me a message. I can't find it now, but it was about... He said he stopped... I bet I left a letter home. It was another thank you note. And he said... The point was, he said, I stopped using Patreon because he heard that they're now clamping down on conservative donations, and he didn't want their money going toward non-conservative people or something. Anyway, I'm just passing it along, but please, whatever way you do it, patreon.com/Kimmer Show, PayPal, right at the beginning of the Kimmer Show podcast, or thekimmershow.net. Anyway, all right, sorry, I stopped talking about that. A couple things. It is Juneteenth celebration day. Yesterday was the actual holiday, so everything's closed. And I heard Flounder talking this morning on 106.3. Bill Nye, the science guy. How about kiss my ass? You know what? I mean, these freaking liberal scumbags. Well, you know, the entire country was built on the backs of black slaves.
Not the entire country.
God, I mean, but just to say it, I mean, the whole, and by the way, that's got nothing to do with the Juneteenth holiday, is not celebrating the end of slavery. It's the end of, it's 2 years after they were dinging the Texas thing and the thing. Anyway, but, you know, I mean, the nerve of these people.
Well, they got to divide us. They got to still, it's all about hate. We got a whole new holiday,
right,
which is about divisiveness and hate and everything like that. And what kills me is that we have this whole thing bitching about the segregation of the past and the bad things. And what's happening today? The left is trying to resegregate.
Yeah. And it's working. I mean, there are still. I saw some guy this morning being interviewed on Fox, who once again is now getting all the liberals they can find to do on their panel shows. And it's our guests are getting all the administration spokesmen, and the guy was saying, "Oh no, Joe Biden's going to run again, and he'll be a dominant candidate. And what he's done for the black population and the economy. I mean, he's going to be a strong candidate in 2020. I swear to God, he's saying that with a straight face. And with him was Doug Collins, our former congressman, who was laughing out loud. He said, "You're making my case for me." I said, I can't believe I'm even hearing any of this. It was hysterical.
Did you see the Brian Stelter thing on CNN?
No. Oh, yeah. Is he still working? I thought they'd fired him by now.
I think so. But he's literally talking about, the Republicans are saying that Biden's incompetent. Biden can't do this. He's senile. He's fragile. He kept saying the word fragile. And there he is this morning out on a bike.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, how do you fall off your bike when you're going over to say hi?
Okay. I'm not going to defend him, but you can see if you look closely, he's got those stupid things on the pedals.
Oh, the clamps?
The clamps. And he's trying
Those are for racing bikes.
He's leaning over, and he tries to take his foot out of it, and it catches, and you're screwed at that.
Well,
point.
yeah, he shouldn't be.
Granted, it was comical, but when you saw it, I knew exactly. I mean, it's happened before when I was a kid. I mean, it easily happens. It happened to him.
You would think that he would be. That there would be no way that the man could fall off a bicycle.
He's Gerald Ford.
And not only that, before that, he slipped going up the stairs of Air Force One again.
He's not Gerald Ford. He's Chevy Chase from SNL.
Doing Gerald Ford, getting him blame, boom, and he'd fall down every time. And the way he used to mock Gerald Ford, who never was anywhere near as bad as Biden is.
Athlete.
And what about, remember when Donald Trump had to walk carefully down the slippery stairs in wingtips with the leather soles and holding his two hands on his cup of water, and they mocked him.
The New York Times headline was that brings new questions about physical health
capability. Yeah, and only finally they're starting to talk about his age. But if you watched him walk, the man can't walk. He's like in a Rector set. He's trying to make himself remember how to move. I mean, I'm serious, don't you think? I mean, it's like he's walking and he's walking like a mechanical man, like he's making he's making the joints move one at a time. Like an erector set. I'm swear to God, he's got like metal plates now. Going through some freaking erector set. And if that had been Trump or Republican, it was front page lead story news for weeks. He's incompetent. The man can't. Remember they said he needs to take a neurological test to see if he's incompetent. I mean, unbelievable. And he fell off his freaking bicycle. Also, speaking of your president and his ilk, have you noticed the disgusting parade of blood-stained women's crotches in front of the female Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett? Have you know? Yeah, they were all weekend long. Women with red paint on their crotches in white pants, smeared with their entire crotch area with red paint, carrying baby dolls, and basically demanding any abortion, anytime, for any or no reason, period, up to birth, for anybody at any time. And they're parading with blood-stained, simulated clothes in front of Amy Coney Barrett's house. And nobody's being arrested, nobody's being charged, nothing's happening with anything. I mean...
Okay, Can it be any more blatant that one side can get away with anything and the other side can't even trespass?
Again, if you had 50 people with dead babies and abortion signs calling for no abortions, wearing MAGA hats in front of one of the liberal justices' houses, they'd all be in jail.
Well, if they had dead babies with them, probably.
Well, I mean, but but again, it's just.
I know it's like there's rule for thee and not for me.
Yeah.
They're in power. They have power.
Yeah.
We sit back and Republicans let it happen.
Well, the only people complaining about it are guys like us who don't have any power. I mean, we have a podcast, but we're not, running the Senate. If Mitch McConnell and all those guys would start speaking up and saying, "Now, wait a minute, this is disgraceful," have their own news conference outside the protest. They ought to be going live outside the protest, saying, "You see, these people, they're a disgrace. It's disgusting what they're doing for a Supreme Court justice."
Instead, they spend all their time trying to shut up the Lauren Boebets and Boebert or whatever her name is, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, telling them, "You can't say that. You can't." We need people like that saying stuff.
We need troublemakers. And speaking of politics, I almost 3:42 Saturday morning. 3:42 Saturday morning, I bolt upright in bed. Sally Yates. Last week, I was trying to remember the name of the Atlanta girl lawyer who was acting attorney general that quit and working for Donald Trump because she wanted to take the sedition against Donald Trump a step further.
Yeah.
Don't you remember the name Sally Yates?
Yeah, she was on the shuttle.
No.
Who was on the shuttle?
No, that's Sally Ride.
Oh, okay.
Sally Yates was the girl lawyer from Atlanta who worked for King and Spalding and became their expert in sedition in Washington. But she was the Atlanta girl lawyer who hated Donald Trump and was acting attorney general. She was in the meeting with Barack Hussein Puttitat, and Jake Sullivan, who ran the insurrection coup campaign for Hillary Rodham P. Sticky Fart Cabbage when they were faking the doctored document of the Steele dossier. And she was in there in that meeting when Puttitat was there.
And nothing has happened.
And nothing's happened. And her name was Sally. I couldn't remember her name.
They bitched about Watergate and how horrible that was. Watergate was nothing.
All right. In fact, let me bring that up too. And I'm kicking myself for this. And I should have known better. I'm such a freaking idiot.
Let us kick you. You don't kick me.
Well, I'm sorry.
Let us kick you.
You should kick me. Last Friday, as I recall, I was telling you that there was going to be a bunch of series from the History Channel on Watergate because it was the anniversary of Watergate break-in. And there was also on CBS, there was a special, an hour or 2 hour special on Watergate, looking back and so forth. And so I actually watched it, and I thought, well, I want to see what this is all about. And for the first 40 minutes of it, it was really pretty well done. They had Leslie Stahl and Dan Rather and Walter Cronkite and the reporters, and they had actual video. I mean, it was a kind of a reflection of what it was all like, what happened. They played a lot of the audio tapes that had never been heard before of Nixon. And they played the smoking gun where he said, well, we got to make sure the CIA gets off of this right now, get the FBI out of this or something. They played a lot of great videos. So it was really, and audio was really, really interesting until, and also they had Woodward and Bernstein sitting together at a table reminiscing and talking. And so it really was very, very well done. I was very impressed until about 15 minutes to the end, all of a sudden, Woodward and Bernstein are saying, well, it's really incredible that looking back on Watergate really doesn't compare to what they tried to do overthrowing the country on January 6th. Yeah, when Donald Trump was the kind of man who, and I'm going, oh, you dirty bastards. And Leslie Stahl, and she was the one who said, "Oh, you can't prove that, Mr. President. You're talking.
You're being recorded."
Yeah. They didn't break it. They're not listening to eavesdrop. Come on, you can't. And I got so freaking angry, and I fell for it. For a minute, I thought, this is really. It was interesting because I lived through it. I was a reporter back then, and I was part of it, documenting it. And living through it, and then all of a sudden they do this, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's just so wrong.
They were paid to do it.
Jeez.
They're not stupid men. So they were paid to say something that stupid.
Obviously. I mean, I tried to take notes. I write down what there was. They totally turned on them, overthrowing the government, and then they said, and I think the other thing, Carl and Woody, whatever his freaking face is, Ron or whatever. I said, the other thing is that, remember, and we showed the evidence that when Barry Goldwater was talking. It was Barry Goldwater was talking to Nixon, and Nixon said, "Do you think I can survive a vote of impeachment?" And they said Barry Goldwater told the president, "Mr. President, you only have 4 votes in the Senate to support you, and I'm not one of them."
Wow.
That was the famous quote. You have 4 votes for you in the Senate, and I'm not one of them. And Nixon said when he heard that, he decided to resign. Anyway, but the point they made after that was, can you see back then how the Republican Party obviously turned their back on the crook in the White House because he deserved to have all of his, worthiness destroyed because he was such a bad, they need to be impeached. And they all rejected him as a man that couldn't be trusted, was a criminal and crook. Compared to today, when the Republican Party is supporting a man who tried to overthrow the, I'm thinking, oh, you can't, they just can't stop.
Which is, if we get back in power, we have to crush them.
Yeah.
We have to do to them what they've done to us the last few years.
And again, I'm not a role model in this. I'm telling you, no holds barred.
Crush them.
They cheated and lied for 5 years, and they're still doing it. They're still saying he's a Russian agent. There's Adam Schiff the other day and Kinzinger saying, well, there was a lot of evidence that he was, we only knew what the evidence was, and it showed he was in cahoots with this Russian bank. And I mean, they're still saying it.
And now, Adam Schiff for Brains is saying he has evidence that Trump tried to overturn the 1-6 in the election, but he's refusing to show the evidence because
and again, of course, they can say it, and it's being reported. And he's got evidence. I'll be damned, honey, pass the mustard. Oh, you got more evidence on Trump. I'll be darned. Kids, what do you want to do this weekend? I mean, it's just they just accept this shit that comes over the air.
Did you see the ABC Washington Post poll out in Nevada? They talked to people, what did you think about the January 6th? Not only did people didn't think it was a big deal, but it turned them away from what the Democrats were doing. Yeah. Saying, okay, we're tired of this.
Yeah. I can only hope the rebound will be successful because this is.
And crush them when we get in there.
We
don't have to lie either. We just point out what they are.
No holds barred. No holds barred.
Well, the first thing if fortunately that does happen, is they've got to fix inflation in the gas. That should be their number one priority.
Open up the pipeline and get people working again and do it. And by the way, the reason I say this, they're not Democrats anymore. They're socialists and they're Marxists.
And advocates. Yeah.
And they will crush us if they get the chance, which is what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And no question about it. Anyway.
Okay.
Thank you. That was pretty cool. All right, hold on a second. I've got a couple of messages passed along for you and some other things. I did talk about the Jennifer. A quick hello and thank you to Lynn Cecilie Porcanet from Norway, who's a podcast fan in Norway. Lynn, thank you so much. We have Norway, Finland, Holland, Germany. I don't know if we have Luxembourg. Is there still Luxembourg? It's gone. Well, then we have whatever Luxembourg used to be.
Have you ever met a Luxembourger?
Don't think there is such a thing. I don't. I've never met anybody from.
I rest my case. And anyway. I'm not so keen on Belgium either.
No,
I don't think that's around.
I know. We like Belgium. We
like them, but I don't think it exists.
Anyway, Lynn,
it's a guy in an apartment in the left bank in Paris claiming he's Belgian.
Yeah, well, anyway, we have some good news. Speaking of a Belgian Malinois. A good news story coming up here in a second. First of all, Dead Crow is back, ready to arm patriots like you. This is not a gun store. This is your personal arms dealer. You're with your buddies hanging around. All of a sudden, your phone goes off. You're looking at, oh, man, guess what? My stuff is in at Dead Crow Defense. Sorry, boys, I got to take this. It's my arms dealer. After a short search, your requested item is ordered and on the way to you. Dead Crow Defense isn't going to scoff when you request a specific caliber of ammunition that nobody else has got. Dead Crow Defense makes firearm, suppressor, ammunition, and gear sales easy and painless with old-fashioned personalized customer service and quality products, obviously. Hasn't been this quick and easy to get a suppressor in America since the 1930s. Their customers at Dead Crow wait an average of only 65 days to get their permission and approval and stuff like that, which is really cool. Online, deadcrowdefense.com for in-stock items, which will ship the next day. If you're in a pinch, give them a call, 678 678-576-9117, 678-576-9117, or shoot them an email. Here's email, sales@deadcrowdefense.com. Sales@deadcrowdefense.com. Have your personal arms dealer reach out to you directly, tell you what they can get for you, what you need, and they'll take care of it. Make sure you tell them the Kimmer sent you. Dead Crow Defense, your arms dealer. Jayab's off. Alrighty then. Okay. We're so much. What's the matter?
A little out of tune.
Yeah, it is a little.
Did you get the Bill Maher thing? Are we able to play that?
We can play it. The only thing is it's 10 minutes. Do you just want to play the beginning?
Yikes! No, it was like a minute and a half long.
No, it's long.
What you
Well,
said
but
it was
we don't
10
play the
minutes.
whole thing.
Yeah, again, so just
Okay, play a little bit.
we can just. Was there a part that was?
Honestly, I think it was my little friend Gretchen sent it
Actually,
to me.
let's play it Wednesday, and I'll listen to it and find the best place for us to.
He was all I heard was the first minute and a half, and I was laughing at how he was talking about how stupid people are so stupid, and we don't need to deal with stupid people.
He said, "Oh, you millennials talking about we shouldn't still be ruled by baby boomers. You know why? Because you're incompetent."
Yeah, you're dumb.
Well, we can play it. I mean, we can play it if you want.
Oh, by the way, the whole thing it was about he was making fun of the Washington Post. That whole thing about there being a kindergarten.
Yeah.
But they finally fired Felicia Somnez for attacking everybody there. That Taylor Lorenz, who was just taken off the features thing because she was lying about her stuff.
Yeah.
They've just taken her off the features thing. Attacked another reporter over the weekend because he made a joke about COVID. He has long COVID. And he had a misspelling in it. And he says also one of the symptoms of long COVID is it causes you to misspell things. Ha ha ha. And she went after him. I hope you find this funny, but it's not funny because people out there who can't get help, the poor.
That's the disgraced.
Taylor Lorenz attacking him, and we're like, oh my God, they're still doing it. She just watched her friend, and by the way, what we said, liberal white women are the main problem in this country.
Yeah, that's right.
And there you have two of them
Yeah.
doing this, attacking people because they're so thin-skinned and they're offended by everything.
Well, the other thing is, where do they get the balls? I mean, why do they think people really need to know what they say about anything?
'Cause in their
against the
little
social media iPhone curse.
In their little circle, that's what. In fact, here's a great meme. Gigi says, "Welcome to social media. A person who does not understand humor will contact you shortly."
Yeah, somebody's going to say something that is none of their stinking business and that they've never thought about before in the world ever and never will again, but they feel committed to have a comment that's some snotty thing about something they have no idea about.
How stupid of you to just watch your friend get fired and then you go down the same path a week later.
That's what they can't help it. Honestly, it's an addiction. I mean, I'll go back to the reference that I forgot who made it. I think it was a little blonde hottie on the Fox, the former press secretary Dana Perino, and she said the modern cell phone is kind of like cigarettes in the 50s.
Yeah.
Boy, they're great to have. Everybody wanted them. Everybody smoked. It felt great. You needed it after a meal, after a cup of coffee, after the movies, first thing when you wake up in the morning, after sex, after everything. It was addictive. It was great. It was fantastic, but it was killing you.
Yeah.
And we knew, and even when we knew it was killing us, we couldn't stop. And I'm telling you, there's a lot. This business with a cell phone and what it's, the destruction of the whole business of the George Floyd case and of the Ferguson, Missouri case. Those two things would never have had the impact to divide America with hatred, political hatred. And again, it was a shame that George Floyd died, but frankly, he had been fighting the police. He'd been in the backseat of the cop car for 40 minutes saying, I can't breathe, and then kept trying to get away. So they finally, put him on the ground because he kept trying to escape. I mean, whatever. But again, it was a terrible case, and all of a sudden the whole world's exploding because of George Floyd and Ferguson, Missouri, and put the feds on the little cop case, something that never happened. And it was because everybody's now it's all on their cell. It wasn't all over the network news until the cell phones got it, and then the network news people, what they do is they go in to see what's on Twitter. Well, we got to cover this, and this because it's all over Twitter. Yep, it's modern cigarettes, man. Okay. Well, all right. We'll do that. Maybe do that Wednesday if we'll make it over for the Bill Maher thing. It was kind of funny. What's that?
Top men.
I get a top guy. Staff. What's that?
Play the first few minutes.
Play the first if you want to. While you're doing that, I will tease Now, is it working okay? Does your thing? Okay, okay. While you're doing that, I will tease coming up. I don't know whether you saw Tucker. Was he got it already?
Yeah, I think he's ready.
Oh, here we go. Here's a little bit of Bill Maher from the other day talking about dumb people or Democrats.
And finally, new rule, before we tackle any of our daunting specific problems here in America, we have to figure out how a country can solve any problem if so many of its people are so intractably, astoundingly, mind-numbingly stupid. And I'm not saying that as hyperbole or just out of frustration. I mean this country just might be empirically, verifiably too fucking dumb to continue as an ongoing enterprise. Jay Leno used to do a classic bit called Jaywalking, where he asked ordinary citizens the kind of question we used to consider common knowledge. And in the internet age, that bit has been, shall we say, updated. And is still a useful indicator of where exactly we are on the bird brain chart. Take a look at some of the answers given on a TikTok site called Project Better.
Who was the first person to land on the sun? Lance Armstrong is correct. What is the biggest city in the world?
I think it's like Asia?
What is the biggest city in the world?
Europe.
If you were born in 2021, how old would you be?
21.
What country is Venice, Italy located in for $100? Do you have any clue?
Gosh, I'm going to be a teacher, so I should know this.
You should.
Paris?
Where is Queen Elizabeth from?
Egypt.
Egypt? Where is it?
Brazil?
Anyway, that's just an example. Holy cow.
Why are they so stupid?
Public education.
Public education controlled by socialist teachers unions and Democrats.
You know, the only really good thing that happened from all those Zoom meetings was parents watching what happened with their kids in the classrooms. And most of them I don't think really cared much, but the few who did were conservatives who said, wait a minute, this I don't remember school being like that. You know, and it was because of that the whole movement started of parents starting to show up at school board meetings. You know, of course, I'm an old fart, but in my day, my parents would never have missed a meeting with a teacher, guidance counselor. Man, they couldn't wait. You know, and of course I'd stay up to make sure when they got home. I'd, you know, how'd I do, Mom? What did they say about me?
Yeah, because I'd always be sweating coming home. It's like, oh, man,
I wonder how I did. You
bad
know,
week for parent-teacher conference.
But again, it was guaranteed. There was, you know, everybody went. It was part of your life. Anyway,
things destroyed the nuclear family, and sometimes you're a single parent. You don't have time to follow it as closely as you should.
Yeah, that's true. And again, the same reason people don't sit down for family dinner.
And they want to hand more power, liberals want to hand more power over to the government in educating kids when they've shown they're completely incompetent in doing what they're doing now with them.
I know. It's really, really horrible. I don't know whether you saw Tucker Carlson Friday night. I was flabbergasted and glad, and I didn't see a lot of reaction to it. Tucker Carlson, well, in fact, I've got a whole story here that I wrote on it. I'm watching Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson basically said that Joe Biden apparently molested his daughter.
Wow.
I mean, it was as close as you can come to actually saying it. Fox News has put out a comment saying Tucker Carlson did not call Joe Biden a child molester, but he came very, very close over the claims that the president, Potato Head, showered with his sex addict daughter Ashley when she was young. In her diary, she said that that may have had something to do with her being a sex addict and messing her up sexually, and also that a family member had molested her or been inappropriate. And she had been having sex with friends at a very, very young age and wondered whether her taking showers with daddy had something to do with it. Tucker Carlson made a couple of points, one of which I made immediately. He said, quote, by the way, little kids don't take showers, they take baths. And if that's not child molestation, it's definitely close enough to justify a police visit. But I'm go one step further. Fathers don't take showers with their daughters anyway.
No.
Ever.
Nope. Or the boys.
Ever.
Unless you're at a gymnasium or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're, you're taking you're at the Red Cross training or whatever, whatever. I mean, and you're seeing them in the shower together. But again, and now I'm gonna be very careful because I'm the father of 2 daughters. Fathers don't take showers with their daughters. Now, but it's, washing a baby is one thing. Now, there have been cases when my daughter, I remember with Jennifer, not so much, I don't remember any with Sarah, but with Jennifer when she was 2 or 3, and all kids do this. If you're getting out of the shower and your daughter walks into the bathroom and you don't have any clothes on, and again, we did this very carefully. I remember when she said something like, what's that, or whatever, and we said what it was and went about our business. Didn't make a big thing. You just, if she has a question, answer the question. Everything is age appropriate. So, and it was no big deal. At some point, she'll be talking about something, and then it's appropriate to say, well, that's your very private part, and really that's only for you to notice, and nobody else should be noticing that, or that's private and nobody else pays attention. There's a way of doing it so that she understands that's private. And you go little by little. It's not that, like taking showers with your daughter. I can't believe it. How could a grown naked man be in a shower with his daughter?
I know.
Anyway,
someone pointed out, by the way.
Yeah.
The son leaves his laptop somewhere public. The daughter leaves her diary somewhere. Are these cries for help?
Well, again, the daughter, at first, we're talking about the FBI again, too. At first, the story was that somebody, Ashley, the daughter, Biden's daughter, was in rehab. And she had her diary in rehab with her. When she left rehab, she forgot to take her diary, and it was under the bed. The FBI, or the federal authorities, and the White House claimed that it was stolen, and so the FBI has been investigating the woman who found the diary as though she's a thief. Yeah. But here's Biden was using the feds as a secret police force after Amy Harris is being investigated over Ashley's diary after she sold it. A girl found the diary, sold it to Politico or somebody, and now the FBI has started investigating the woman for doing something that is not a crime. She found the diary in a bed at the halfway house where she was staying. She has been investigated, not yet arrested, for claims it was stolen. Project Veritas activist and the founder reiterated how federal agents raided the home of their activist, James O'Keefe. Reiterating O'Keefe's words when the raids took place, Carlson said, "In what world is the alleged theft of a diary investigated by the FBI?" Yeah. Why were they doing this? Well, the answer lies in what's in the diary. Now we know what's in the diary.
You just mentioned a few minutes ago how Nixon's downfall was he was saying the smoking gun.
Yeah.
Get the CIA and the FBI in on this.
Right.
And that's exactly what Biden has done.
Yeah. And again, Tucker Carlson basically said, he said the police, well, the thing that got me was, and it'll never happen, but boy, I will get a GoFundMe for this man or woman who does. Tucker Carlson said, at the next news conference, a reporter needs to ask President Vijay why he was taking showers with his daughter at whatever age, and when he tries to explain himself, he should resign immediately, and the police should investigate charges of child molesting.
If any reporter asks that question, they will be hustled out and never get press passes again.
That's right.
I guarantee you.
And his agency, whether if it's a network or a paper, will be, absolutely. Not only that, but then they'll be banned from anything. Again, the fix is in, and the question should be asked. Her diary says that she may have been the reason that she became a sex addict and a sex fiend when she was like 9 or whatever it was.
It's up to us. When we're in a crowd and he's sitting there glad-handing everything, why did you shower with your daughter, Mr. President?
Right.
Someone's got to start
Somebody's
yelling.
got to yell it out.
Get it on camera.
Yeah, somebody's got to yell it out. And Tucker went on and he's the #1 show on television.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't see anything anywhere on social media, on Facebook, but I just going about my daily business over the weekend. I didn't see a word.
Social media tries to block Tucker.
I mean, but a man, Tucker Carlson said this man needs to be investigated by the police, and if he's not a child molester, he sure came. He needs to be investigated as one.
My fear is with Tucker is that they'll do to him what they did to Glenn Beck. They'll ostracize him and put him in a corner till he's a kook. So he has to leave, or they fire him, or they'll do what they do to Bill O'Reilly, and they'll come up with something.
Well, the O'Reilly thing, I don't.
An excuse to fire him.
Yeah, but Glenn Beck was never as big a TV star as Tucker Carlson is. O'Reilly was for a while, so that might. I get. And again, something's going on at Fox News. They are having more and more apologists on all of a sudden to just mock the conservatives' comments. And I want to talk about the deadly insurrection over the weekend here, too, of the liberals in the Stephen Colbert Show for a second. First of all, a word for our friends. A word. All together now. Let's say M&S Title Pawn.
M&S Title Pawn.
Thank you. M&S Title Pawn is the place to honor the lovely little segment of this ridiculous podcast, The Cover Show, brought to you by M&S Title Pawn, LLC. They're in beautiful Bremen, Georgia. Nice drive up there, too, by the way. It's a beautiful little town right there at 306 Laurel Street, Suite A. M&S Title Pawn, open Monday through Saturday. And if you want to look them up on the web, it's manstitle.com. And I'll say the name kind of funny because the name of the actual company is M&S Title Pawn. If you put the letters M-A-N-D-S, it spells Mans. So if you want to get to them on the web, it's manstitle.com.
Is that what? I had never noticed that. That's what that means.
What?
I just thought it was man's title. Are you? I did.
Oh my God! That's
just
why
now
I've been saying
that.
it that way.
Okay.
It's man's title because M-A-N-D-S is spelled man's title.
By the way, Bremen isn't up there; it's west.
Oh, I keep thinking Bremen's northeast. It's west. That's right.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news. Well, by God, next time I get a free afternoon, I'm going to drive to Bremen and say hi to the boys at M&S Title.
Baby.
I-20 all the way. I-20's not a happy drive. For part of it's not that good.
We'll take 78. 78's a more leisurely drive.
Yeah, I'll take back roads. I love going back roads. Anyway, M&S Title Pawn. And here's a phone number, 678-821-3337. M&S Title Pawn in Bremen. Now, over the weekend, I don't know whether you saw this, but another insurrection in America. Yes, the Late Show crew arrested at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. because of this idiot Schmeigel guy who used to be sort of funny. I think I remember him years and years ago, and I remember laughing at some of his stuff.
He did. What was the cartoon that was kind of like Batman and Robin, but the something... Gay duo.
Yeah. Twixie. Oh, God.
And they drove Gary and something. They drove a car that looked like a penis. And it was
Oh, I can't remember. I mean, he has some amusing parts.
Ambiguously gay superheroes.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, there was an insurrection. They got caught trying to destroy the Capitol building and trying to murder people who were there after hours of the Capitol Police on Saturday night, or it was a Thursday night, I guess, a Thursday night, Friday. The insurrection and deadly takeover began when suspected child molester Chuck Schumer put duct tape over the door lock to make sure the murderous rioters from the Colbert Show could get in with their bombs and explosive shrapnel rockets. Schumer then handed out some of his famous dick pics to the insurrectionists to give to their children. Schumer then reiterated and retreated to his private study, where it was his turn to edit his website, Little Boys Are Pretty, which is mostly broadcast into Canada and France. Congressman Adam Schifferbrains was given special credit for his leadership after the rumor was he came up behind a female security guard and stabbed her in the back of the head with an ice pick because his favorite movie is Goodfellas. In an added twist, suspected Schifferbrains fondled her while she was dying there on the carpet, much like the snuff films that he apparently produces on weekends. Schifferbrains then held a news conference claiming he had proof that Donald Trump used to take showers with President Joe Squirt Canal's young daughter. CBS and the other networks immediately called for a June 17th holiday to make a mostly peaceful visit that only left one woman dead, and she was probably a conservative anyway. By the way, also as a reward for showing how to stage a love-filled insurrection, the liberals who tried to overthrow the government were taken to the party room at the D.C. jail and were treated to champagne cocktails for a special treat. Speaker Nancy Pelosi showed up in her old stripper costume costume that she still fits into for her weekend orgies and let them play with her boobies since they're still as magnificent as the day she bought them. All in all, this is going to be a holiday the left can celebrate for years to come. And it's all part of the Kimmer Show podcast.
Damn.
Excuse me? Can I talk sports for a second?
In depth, right there.
Can I do a teeny bit of
Yes,
sports?
you may.
Did I give you your sports sections?
You
The
sure
sports
did.
pages? And now I can't find anything about my sport. I was going to talk about sports. Well, no, wait a minute. I got it. Oh, here we go. Right here. I'm sorry. What did I do?
World Cup.
World Cup. We have to get the World Cup banned from Atlanta. Atlanta is too much of a racist town, does not deserve the World Cup. I think we need to get a petition going. No World Cup for Atlanta. What? Oh, it broke?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Doing this with them.
Oh, my God.
What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I wonder if they'll go back together. I'll bet they can. I'll bet I can get them back together.
He's blind.
No, the thing snapped. That's why the frame broke.
Fascinating.
So they'll never be fit again. Well, that's right. I got one eye.
Why'd
Good.
you throw it at me
Oh
for?
hell, screw this. Okay, you watched the U.S. Open golf tournament?
I sure did.
I watched a lot of it, and I was gone for part of it and doing things to stable stuff like that. But I DVR'd it and watched it all from beginning to end. Comments on overall?
I like that kid, the English guy who wanted that, and I like
Fitzpatrick.
Zalatoris. That poor.
I wanted Zalatoris
You
to
know,
He's
win.
3 shots away from 3 majors.
Yeah.
The funny thing
wanted
is the way he's English and he had braces. He was
Yeah,
getting, he was
he's so
getting
young,
his
he
teeth
still has
fixed.
his braces
Yeah.
on. Amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I don't like that golf course. I don't like. It was a lot of but there are too many blind shots. The problem the problem is they never showed from the angle of the player. They showed up so you couldn't see it. If you looked where the player was, half the time they're hitting over mounds of humps and no idea where they're going. I mean, that's not fun golf. I mean, that's a very difficult golf course, and the rough was ridiculous. But again, it's a test of golf, and the best players who can keep it in play
Hit it down the middle.
didn't hit it. Yeah, just there were no
Quit
trees. There were
slamming
no
it.
trees in the middle of the fairway.
You didn't see Mr. Hulk DeChambeau up there in the
right.
leaders, what did
yeah.
you?
No, I know. Again, it was. I think the best players won. All 3 of those, 3 or 4 or 5 guys,
Scheffler.
including Rory McIlroy had a chance, and
well.
Scheffler, and they were all in it right till the very end. And again, those putts. I mean, those greens were just ridiculously difficult to putt, especially with any kind of wind blowing. But anyway, they got ripped for having too many
Oh,
commercials.
far too many commercials.
And even the head of the USGA said, "We're on it. We hear you, and we're on it."
It's
Yeah, you're
far
on it,
too-
my ass. I mean, you better
I
do
did like
something.
you. I came home, took a nap, and then I watched it on DVR. Didn't
Yeah.
know who won, and I'm literally
Zoom.
have to pick it
Yeah.
up. Have to pick it up and fast forward constantly.
It was brutal. Also, I thought this. Oh, did you see the guy throw his putter, tomahawk it into the bank and break it? Oh my God! He got so mad. I mean, it was the whole thing on camera too. And he reared back and he went wham, and he threw it like 100 yards. It looked like out of the frame, like a tomahawk.
Yeah, I mean, he threw it into the hill.
Yeah,
so
it
like,
snapped the shaft on it, I guess. And it reminded me, I'm going to out our good friend Danny McNulty, one of my best friends ever, and the guy I played golf with every Sunday for 10 years, whatever. PGA member, pro member. And in fact, he was played at your dad's place at Berkeley Hills for years and years and years. Anyway, I know some pros out there. So one day we're playing with Danny and Big Dave, the big, huge Dave Lavelle, my other longtime best golfing buddy guy. And so we're playing, we're out on about like the 11th hole, and all of a sudden Danny hits a really terrible shot. And we start to walk back to the carts or whatever, and we hear snap. We turn around, and he snapped his shaft in half right over his knee. And then we start, Danny, oh my God, he says, So we start walking back to the cart, and we hear another snap. And then we hear another snap. He broke every single shaft in his bag, I think, except his putter and maybe a wedge, and played the rest of the round. And he snapped every freaking shaft in his bag. And it reminded me. When I was a kid, I used to throw clubs. I think probably all kids growing
I
up.
threw tennis rackets.
Oh,
yeah.
I used to throw my clubs until I started buying them myself.
I know. Yeah.
But it's really bad manners on a golf course. You just don't do that.
It's funny, when we were on that 680 tournament I was on last week, it was me, Mike, and Mike's brother. And Mike's brother Matt would jokingly, he'd always go to the thrift store and buy 2 crappy clubs before he goes to the. So each hole he would jokingly at on the front 9 and the back 9 toss a club. And the funny thing was is when we were there was a sponsor at every hole. So one time this girl was like, "Oh my God."
That's a great idea. It's a great idea. I'm going to do that if we have a charity tournament this year. Anyway, it reminded me. I thought that was pretty funny. I used to throw clubs until my parents finally caught me one time and said, "You ever do that again, and you'll never go to the country club again." Anyway, I thought that was pretty freaking weird.
There are far too few remembrances and asides of Francis we met. Didn't you think so? Every 5 minutes, it wasn't enough.
Well, there were a lot. And by the way, I don't think, did they ever mention the greatest game ever played? Wasn't that the story of Francis we met?
That was it.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know, every 5 minutes. And I showed the house, and now it's a National Treasures up. But again, when that's...
Watch the movie. It's a great story. Watch the movie. Okay, let's keep playing.
It really is. Yeah, it really is a great movie, and the story is a great story.
Sheila
but again,
Booth
it's not.
And Stephen Delane, who's a great actor.
Well, anyway, you don't need to have all 4 hours, 6 hours of it, or from noon to 8 or whatever it was. A couple things when they introduced Justin Thomas. Is one of the top-ranked golfers, a major.
No.
They call him Justin Thompson.
No, Justine.
Oh,
did you see the little conniption fit he had because
No.
his ball was next to a grate?
Oh, I heard. Yeah.
It's next to a grate. I want relief. And one of the guys, I forget the 2 golfers that were talking over it, goes, "Well, I can see his point." Blah blah. And the other one goes, "Oh no, hit the damn ball."
Yeah,
come on.
He wasn't going to hit the grate, but again, they asked for relief for the various things, and he was very upset about that. But the announcer and now the 10:15 tee time, Justin Thompson.
Okay,
his name's not Thompson.
I said, okay, he just won a big tournament, right?
Yeah,
he's a top golfer
in the world. He's a huge, major.
If I'm up there at the U.S. Open. And he says, "Okay, Pete Davison on the thing." I'm backing up and looking. I'm going, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
I'm going, "What is my name?"
Yeah.
And I make him say it right.
Well,
wouldn't you?
Justin
Your family's watching. Your friends are watching. He just fucked up your name.
First of all, Justin Thomas. Smirk, give a little smirk. He went like just a little bit of head bob, and that was it. And then I thought, what would I do? Honestly, I think I probably would have made a joke about it. I think I would have been if you're on the first tee of the U.S. Open, especially in the final round.
The guy had one job.
Yeah. I don't know whether I would have. I think it would have been bad form on me if I'd have humiliated or attacked the guy. I think the crowd would have turned on me if I'd have made a joke about it.
They would have. Say my name.
Yeah,
right.
I disagree. I don't think I would have.
Well, international TV, and you just screwed up my name at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He screwed it up.
I worked my ass off to get to this point. Everybody I know is watching this,
yeah.
and your parents are probably watching because you're still young.
Oh, everybody
and they're screwing your name up.
Everybody you ever known because
what did he
he's
do?
Famous already. He just smirked. He just kind of went, get a little laugh. It was not in any way really negative. It was to say, you idiot, and it kind of did a little kind of a smirk.
You don't have to say that. You just have to stop and go, "What's my name?"
Yeah. Anyway, that was kind of bar. Now, the other thing, speaking of words, I couldn't believe this, and maybe I'm wrong, and I didn't hear everything. Did you see when the golfer, and I think it was, I can't remember whether it was Scheffler or one of the top golfers shanked it. And went dead right, actually dead shank. And Paul Azinger said, "Oh my God, he shanked it. I can't believe he shanked it." And the first, look at the expression on your face is going, "Oh my God."
Because you told me that a few weeks ago not to do that.
You never say the word shank on a golf. You don't ever even say the word coming to even ever.
We say it all the time because we suck.
But again, if you're ever playing with a group, you never mention the word on the driving range or anything. Never mention the word shank. And they will be all over you.
Macbeth as an actor.
But here's the thing: Azinger said, "Oh my God, he shanked it! I can't believe he shanked it!" And there was silence. And then the next time when they were giving the highlights of the thing, Azinger said, "Yeah, and just the other hole, he hit one off the hosel." Instead of saying shanked it again, somebody told him to don't use the word shank, and obviously told him in his earpiece, don't say shank again, because when next time he described it, it was he hit the hosel. Oh my God. I thought that was pretty funny, the way they did it.
For one day, we didn't hear anyone talking about the LIV tour. For one day, it was peaceful. And then what happens today? Greg Norman has a news conference. They want official points. They want accreditation for the world golf rankings.
For the ones who played in the Open, you mean, or for their tournament?
For the LIV tour. And guess who's on the 8-man committee to make that decision?
Mickelson.
Jay Monahan.
Oh, really?
And Norman's calling for him to recuse himself.
Well, Norman should recuse himself.
Not Norman. Why should he recuse himself?
Well, because he's the one who started it.
He's the CEO. I got no problem with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Let them get their money and let them still play on the PGA. What's the problem here?
Yeah, I don't know. Again,
if the PGA is so great, then people will still play it.
They should have come to agreement on this and made if the golf, again, Tiger Woods, they said, was the guy who should be the chairman of the United Nations, general secretary, to bring the world of golf together and bring people together around the world. So if you want to make the world of golf a really world event, then bring everybody in together and have a set of rules and have your stuff and have so you all know what it's like having a handicap. It's that way you and I can play together. If we have different skill levels, we can still play together because there is a handicap system. So why didn't they do that? I mean, is it they're so I don't know, imperialistic or homophobic or territorial? Not homophobic, territorial.
They don't want to be associated. First of all, they don't want to have to compete with the money that the Saudi, and they don't want to be part of Saudi Arabian money now. And you're telling me the PGA has always had really great corporate sponsors that have always done right by people, big pharma and everything like that. I just think this reminds me of the '60s. Remember the NFL versus the AFL?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah.
Once they merged, they became the biggest thing in North American sports. If these two tours can get their act together, who's gonna? I mean, my God.
Yeah.
They'll be huge.
I know, but again, I don't know what the answer is other than just get together and work it out. I mean, otherwise, just go screw yourself. Why can't they make some money
over there and then come back and play the tour events?
Well,
what's the problem here?
But and again, the players in the meantime have to either follow the rules or one or the other, and so they're going to have to make a decision.
Well, they've already signed their Joe Namath. They've already got Mickelson and DeChambeau and a few of the other ones,
got a bunch
more
of them
coming.
Yeah, they got a bunch of them. So that's probably what's going to do it.
The British Open now, are they going to – because the U.S. Open was making noise about not letting them play in the future.
I think the British Open will let anybody in, I think, probably. I would assume.
So that means the Masters can let who they want. U.S. Open up to
Masters
now
is a private tournament. It's
British
an invitation.
Open. So the only one of the majors that they could really mess with people is what?
It's the PGA. Yeah.
And if the PGA wants to make it superfluous, do it.
Yeah. I dare you.
They'll make another thing a major.
Yeah. Speaking of the latest in the sports world, have you heard about? Oh, I got to do a one-eyed eyeglass thing. This ought to be really
Kimmer's
interesting.
one-eyed eyeglass thing brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com of Sonoya, Georgia. Custom shirts and hats and signs, promotional items, all the Kimmer shirts you need. Holy Crap, it's sports. Shannon Burke, Jack the Good Boy, Horsey Stretchy, everything you need. And if you have a photo, they'll put it on there on your coffee
mug,
your
do anything.
thermos,
on a
your
hat,
shirt.
a towel, bathrobes, anything you're looking for.
FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
There you are. And here we go. The governing body for international swimming, called FINA or FINA, I don't know,
Weren't they a gas station at one point?
I think it was a gas station. They actually were. It was a gas station. The governing body for international swimming has new policies for transgender swimmers going into effect today.
Finally.
Check this out. Gender inclusion policy for international swimming guidelines. The gender inclusion policy will only permit swimmers who transitioned before the age of 12 to compete in women's events. Okay, so if you're a little boy and they cut off your kibbity-boppity, bippity-boppity before you were 12, then you can swim like a girl. So in other words, all of you parents who decide that your children should be a different gender should have them castrated before they're 12, don't forget.
The spokesman said that's not what we're saying. He says, obviously, we shouldn't do that. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
He came out and used common sense. He says, but you cannot do it after 12 and not have some kind of
In other words, you've just told yourself that you're a bunch of freaking idiots. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It's amazing to me that a worldwide thing like this, a committee, has used common sense and said, no, we're not going to do this. Because the woke media is going to just kill them.
This is outrage, the whole idea. Although some swimmers are saying, well, I think, as I understand it, I don't know about this whole policy, but as I understand it, they're going to try to establish another unit of swimmers, of trans people.
I've been saying
which
that for
is
a
the way
year
it
now.
should have been from the very beginning.
Yeah, cut them. Don't let them swim against women, but give them their own thing. And
Right.
the Olympics, too. I don't care.
I don't care either. If you want to be inclusive, but don't be unfair. I mean, don't be unfair. I mean,
So do you make like an alt section, like just for
another?
You have to.
Let's see. Transgender women and athletes whose legal gender can compete in sanctioned events if they can establish to their comfortable satisfaction that they have not experienced any part of male puberty beyond Tanner stage 2 or before age 12, whichever is later. In other words, they're still talking about the age of 12 of when they stopped getting into puberty. Now, I mean, this whole thing just makes me ill.
Disgusting. It's parents, liberal parents that are pushing
Any
this shit.
parent who has anything to do with this ought to be ashamed of himself.
And you got People Magazine pushing it. You got all the media pushing it, thinking it's... And like Bill Maher said, 5 years ago, no one even talked about this.
I have 2 daughters. I can't imagine for the life of me trying to remember back if my daughters were talking before they were 12 about whether they really felt more like a boy.
Well, Bill Maher said, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
thank God.
Nobody scheduled eye removal and peg leg surgery.
Yeah. Of course, I did that as a meme last week,
Yeah.
but again, repeating it
Hey,
is
that's
even
very
better.
good. It's a funny line.
Yes, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
You should sponsor it.
No, wait, hold on a minute. I got the next one. I got 3 more to go here, bucko. Also...
Well, I was going to say, the thing that's in the news now, and I don't know if this is in your stuff, is the drag queens.
Well, in fact, did you...
With children's... I mean, some of the stuff you're seeing, it's...
Having little boys put money into the garters of men dressed like
yeah.
girls, yeah. And
they're
again, I
taking
think
them
we
to
mentioned
bars to see
last
this.
Friday, the New York State Board of Education woman said that every school should have a drag queen event.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Have you heard about J-Lo? Jennifer Lopez. Oh my God! Jennifer Lopez is now introducing her own child with gender-neutral pronouns. Jennifer Lopez, I'm going to get my one eyeball on here.
Pirate.
Jennifer Lopez took to the stage, introducing at the LA Dodgers Foundation Blue Diamond Gala. Jennifer Lopez took to the stage and introduced her 14-year-old daughter, Emma, in the following way, calling Emma, her teen, her favorite duet partner, and introduced her by saying, they, meaning she, they, my daughter, they are very, very busy, booked and pricey. They, my daughter, they cost me when they come out, but they're worth every single penny because they're my favorite duet partner of all time. So if you will indulge me. And then Jennifer and they, Emma, performed Christina Perri's 1,000 Years with the teen using a rainbow-colored microphone and rocking a hot pink outfit, calling her daughter they. People saying, oh, this is so wonderful. It's so wonderful. Oh, J-Lo respecting the pronouns. The best parents love and support their kids. Go J-Lo and they. Oh, this is J-Lo sharing the information. It's beautiful to see her supporting her child. So her child decided when she was 12 or 13 that she's really, doesn't want to be a girl.
TikTok says do it, and YouTube says do it.
Dear God.
Her friends are saying do it, and she'll get popular more. Not that she won't be popular as J-Lo's kid, but...
Dear God. I mean, really.
And it's confusing. You imagine the gymnastics you have to go through in your mind to keep the pronouns straight in your head?
Yeah.
When you say they and you're expecting 2 people to come out?
By the way, Barron Trump is back being doxxed and attacked again, apparently. And people were making fun of him. I saw this on Twitter when I tried to find out how to work Twitter. And apparently he's being the left is mocking Barron Trump, and they're particularly making fun of how tall he is. He's like 6'5" now or something. He's 16, I think, or something. Yeah, so that's his fault. And so Nick wrote in, the far leftist media needs to leave Barron Trump alone. And then one said, pray every day your kids grow up to be like Barron Trump, not Hunter Biden. And somebody else said, the fact that Barron Trump is trending because the left takes so much joy in making fun of a child shows you exactly why liberals are regarded with so much hate. On the other hand, Kathy said, President Trump's tall, handsome son, Barron, is trending for being tall and handsome. Okay, then. Someone said, Chelsea Clinton is ugly. Amy Carter's even uglier. The Obama girls look like boys. People on the left, Barron Trump is so tall. Fox News, how dare the left insult Barron? He's just a child. If you think calling Barron Trump tall is an insult, then what about Amy Carter and Chelsea Clinton and Sasha and Malia Obama would like to have a word with you. Malia, what's her name? Malaria. No one can embarrass Barron Trump worse than his mom's nudes. No one can embarrass Barron Trump worse than his thieving-ass father. Barron Trump is trending. Someone must have said he's tall, and now the right is losing their shit. Lori said, your daddy couldn't ride Stormy Daniels without training wheels. I won't make fun of Barron Trump because he's a child, but I will make fun of his father because his father's a child. Anyone have a clue who Barron Trump's biological father is? My best guess is Slovenia basketball player Luka Doncic. People on here complaining the left is picking on Barron Trump by saying how tall he is, but the right is threatening Adam Kinzinger with execution to him and his family. Who are the radicals? All the right wants to do is kill and hate on everybody they don't agree with. You want to murder Adam Kinzinger and his wife and 5-month-old baby, but you can't call Barron Trump tall. And then someone, what's the difference between Ashley Babbitt and Barron Trump? Donald Trump knows who Ashley Babbitt is. Jeez, I mean, these people. You degenerate monsters said whatever you wanted about Obama's kids. My, oh my, how the turntable turns when Barron Trump is too tall. Oh, the horror. Anyway.
If I'm Barron Trump, I'm laying low and I'm making a list.
Yeah.
And I'm getting, when I get my money, I'm training ex-Navy SEALs and Mossad agents as my own personal little hit squad, and these people are going to disappear.
Yeah, I would believe me. I like it. I like the whole idea.
Very quietly, just
heads will roll.
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be quite a guy. You notice? I mean, you notice he's handling everything apparently silently, quietly.
Yeah, he's not loud by any
privately.
means.
I mean,
don't forget.
Yeah,
he's got FU money.
Yeah,
why would you get down in the muck with these people?
Stupid. Yeah, stupid. And one more thing. Speaking of a Twitter thing, have you heard the latest game now? There's something out called "She's a 10 But." And now people on Twitter she's a 10. She's a, wow, look at that hot. She's a 10. No. She's a 10, but there's something wrong with her. That's the game. She's a 10, but. She's a 10, but has a Hello Kitty obsession. She's a 10, but she says, DW, it's okay when she's mad. I don't know what that means.
What was that again?
DW. It's okay.
Dickweed.
Oh, she's a 10, but she cries when she's mad. She's a 10, but she uses goggles in the pool. She's a 10, but she bites it.
Don't worry.
Oh, don't worry. It's okay. It's like the girl told me at my hearing test. It'll be okay. She's a 10, but she bites the skin off her lips when she's anxious. She's a 10, but she partakes in this crap. She's a 10, but she can't park. She's a 10, but she overshares on the internet. She's a 10, but she's a Pisces.
Hey!
She's a 10, but she's emotionally unavailable. She's a 10, but she wishes her boyfriend a happy Father's Day for being a doggy dad. She's a 10, literally 10 years old, so keep Trump away from her. Idiot. She's a 10, but she doesn't know that her loved one may be financially compensated if they have mesothelioma. Mesothelioma. She's a 10, but she's on 5 different medications. It just goes on and on. And people are spending hours on this stuff. Excuse me. A quick good news note from our friend, our friend Kai, a 2-year-old Belgian Malinois, the police dog in Gwinnett County who got shot rounding up a suspect. And again, briefly on the story. I love that it was in Lawrenceville. Police arrived, and the reporters say the suspect already had fled to a nearby wooded area. Why can't they just say the woods? I mean, he went into the woods, went into the nearby woods. What do you mean wooded area? I mean, really, who came up with that in the AP grammar guides? Yeah, some AP writer guide. There used to be an actual a writer's guide, an AP writer's guide.
And they tried to make you follow. I remember going through that going,
These people don't know how to write.
No one talks like this.
God. Especially in radio. I mean, just...
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't need it. Push off.
Yeah, the bank was robbed, he said. According to the police officer, first one on the scene. Anyway, so the dog Kai was shot twice at least in the hip and in the chest. They took him to the hospital. He had blood transfusions and all kinds of stuff. One of his lungs had a hole in it, a hole in his chest. And the police officer who takes care of him, Corporal Aaron Carlisle, said he took rounds that were meant for us. He never faltered from his job. He went home that night to our families. He may return to police duties depending on physical therapy. Well, he's 2 years old. They should retire him. I mean, just make him a home pet. But again, on the other hand,
did they kill the asshole who shot him?
I couldn't find the rest of the story. I'm sure they didn't kill him because we would have known. But they didn't even rough him up. I don't think they just arrested him, which is ridiculous. And I've always said, if you shoot a police dog or a cop, it's over. Police dog is a cop.
Yeah.
A licensed badged officer of the law. Anyway, so that's good news. The dog's going to be fine. A Belgian Malinois. Also, you'll be glad to know, you people in Brookhaven, your security is assured because the Brookhaven Police Department has now made 2 raids on massage parlors. They went to 2 spas, and I love the way they put this. Employees and customers at 2 Brookhaven spas were arrested on a prostitution ring busts. No. The Orange Massage and Sauna 1 on Buford Highway. Orange Massage and Sauna 1 on Buford Highway.
The green one.
And then they say somebody gave him a tip that there were illegal sex acts going on there.
Someone gave him a tip, all right.
Yeah. And so after an ensuing investigation led to... So in other words, a couple of undercover cops went in there and did the old humada bing bang boomada. Now we got you. Let's
Happy
go.
ending.
Yeah, do a couple more of those. By the way, police officers are allowed to have sex on the job.
Really?
Yeah, I think there was if I remember, there was a court case, and because they were having sex, the person in the massage girl apparently tried to claimed that she was clearly set up because that's what entrapment and stuff. But I think they're allowed to at least be part of it, and whether they actually finish or not, I don't know. But they were allowed to be part of a sex sting.
Time to get on top of that.
Anyway,
find out
I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. So apparently the cops were getting some stuff there. They found a nude guy trying to run away. One of the workers tried to run away. They came back a second time to arrest him. I mean, come on, man. I mean, really, that's what's going on in Brookhaven, is going to massage parlors to see if some guys, come on.
Meanwhile, those guys are racing up and down Buford Highway every night.
Yeah, let's shut off a couple of parking lots and intersections.
Gang stuff, and that's what they're going for.
Unbelievable. I got a Dear Abby for you about another dumb girl. Also, Apple may be going union, at least for a while. And a passing of a former comedian who you'll remember by image, if nothing else.
I forgot to mention this. In Jurassic World, the main villain...
Oh, you saw that again.
The main villain, just once. The main villain is the exact carbon copy of the head of Apple. What's his name? Tim Allen? Not Tim Allen, the comedian, and not Steve Jobs, who's been dead.
Oh, Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. He looks just like him. So somebody, obviously, making the movie had a hard-on about that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Notice I came up with a name. Thank you.
You did.
Thank
Tim
you.
Cook. He's from
Tim
Mississippi, by the way.
Oh, well, there you are. Mississippi, didn't they just do something in baseball? Are they into the
Yeah, they beat
still?
Auburn. They're in their College World Series. They take on... Oh, do you hear about the Jell-O shots? Rocco's Cantina in Omaha has a board. Who drinks the most Jell-O shots?
Oh, that's got to be a tricky contest.
Which school do you think has drunk the most Jell-O shots so far? We're talking over 4,000. Guys are buying them by the hundreds. People are lined up at 8:30 in the morning to get into the place. It opens at 9.
To
and
set
by
the
10,
record, and they have to identify as that school, and they drink Jell-O shots?
Yeah.
4,000?
So far, this
like
school has over 4,000
Is this over the course of what? A weekend?
The weekend.
Oh my God. What? Well, probably Auburn and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is second. UGA? No, UGA's not
Alabama.
in it. Alabama, I don't think it's in it. Yeah. Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Which it makes sense because they're right. I mean, they're right close to Omaha, so they can get there really quick.
That's true.
So there's more of them
did.
there.
Oh my
but
God.
they leave over 4,000, and Ole Miss has like 3,000. Number 3 is Texas A&M, 500.
Oh, give 4,000 to 500? Holy cow. Well, A&M is a military school. I mean, they still do ROTC.
They still drink, though.
I think they do. Speaking of doing things to make your life better, how about getting a new ride? How about swapping your car? How about swapping your whip? A whip is a car or a bike or a motorcycle. A whip is swap your whip, WHIP. SwapMyWhip.com. That's the name of this company sponsoring part of the Kimmer podcast right now. If you're looking for a different ride, maybe you want to trade your car, don't feel like messing with dealerships and middlemen, stuff like that, go to SwapMyWhip.com. and find like-minded car owners when they want to maybe trade their car, see what else is going on out there with not wanting to deal with dealerships or middlemen, car salesmen, stuff like that. SwapMyWhip.com. Probably get yourself a better deal just avoiding the whole thing entirely. Trade your car or your boat or a jet ski or whatever, stuff like that at SwapMyWhip.com. Now, if you use the coupon code KIMMER, KIMMER, you get 180 days of free premium listings on SwapMyWhip.com. Once again, that is SwapMyWhip.com. Hey!
Tell me more about this coupon code. Sounds intriguing.
I'm not good. I'm not good. If I got this page, I got that whole page. Now, as you know, a couple quick things. Apparently, the union folks. And my ears just got louder. I mean, by the way, my appointment tomorrow got moved until late in the afternoon tomorrow. Hello, so I'm kind of excited about that to see if that makes any difference in things. Apple workers.
I got a question, and you're gonna need to ask them this. You know how you were saying you can have everything set up right in your ear
through your phone.
Yeah. What happens when you want to go to bed?
You have to take them off.
Okay.
You take them out and recharge them. I guess. I mean, otherwise.
Really?
Because that would be super annoying if you leave them in and then 2 o'clock in the morning we're texting or doing so.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Wake up, wakey.
I think I can actually have my phone play music directly into the hearing things. Huh. My God. Apple workers in Baltimore voted 2-1 to go union.
2-1.
2-1.
There was only 3 employees?
Only 3. Now, it's silly. Ratio of nearly 2-1 to unionize. Push across the U.S. for retail, service, and tech industries to organize for workplace protections. Oh, please. Anyway, union, here we go. I wonder what's going to happen to them then.
It's so harsh in that air-conditioned huge
poor babies.
building. Yeah.
I mean, and again, I told you my union experiences on having to check in at different times and not be able to work at different shifts. And it was just what a crock. Did you see the video of the yacht burning in New Hampshire? It was going to Newcastle, 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Somebody noticed some smoke below deck. Passengers and 2 dogs jumped overboard as the whole thing was engulfed in flames. 70-foot yacht and sank to the bottom of the harbor.
Jump, Flopsy, jump.
Lovey, that's scary.
The yacht is sinking.
Off we go.
Lovey, Thurston.
How did the fire start?
What's that?
How did the fire?
They don't know.
They
But
don't
again,
know.
it's not. I mean, it's not unusual. I mean, boats catch fire if you
all
have
the
gas
time.
leaks, and the engines are below deck.
That's a bad feeling.
Underneath, yeah,
when
that's
your boat's on fire.
and if you smell, and occasionally we'd smell gas, and you
remember a couple years ago there was that scuba guide thing that went out, and the boat caught fire, and they were all caught under while sleeping.
They couldn't. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a crap load. Remember Mark Shields?
I'm leaving a bad review on Yelp for that.
What, for Mark Shields?
No.
No, for the boat. Mark Shields, the one-time campaign manager who became one of Washington's most respected political commentators and a syndicated columnist. He was a liberal counterpart to conservative sparring partners at PBS NewsHour. He was the guy who wore the black eyeglasses.
Mark who?
Mark Shields.
Oh yeah, he was kind of
Yeah, he wore
looking.
those eyeglasses, and he was a snotty,
good on
smarmy, clever, witty, liberal commentator. He had
was
a
kinda short
column.
and squat
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
Yeah,
kind
I
of
remember
had
him.
kind of an owl appearance to
Yeah.
him. Kind of looked like. He reminds me of
Don't
somebody
say it.
else if you
Don't
say it.
say
No,
it.
no, I won't say it. But Mark Shields, and he passed
of the
away.
show.
No, we don't want to say anything. He passed away in Chevy Chase, Maryland, at the age of 85. He was on PBS NewsHour for years and years. Mark Shields, 85 years old. Also, chicks in the news. 2 years ago, Abby, at a national conference, I bumped into a woman I had dated decades ago. We started dating again, even though she lives in Phoenix and I'm in the Midwest. We call several times a day. We travel to see each other at least once a month. It's working so well, we talked about moving in together in Arizona. I'd move to see her and move in together. I thought our future was bright until this week when my lady friend told me that she wants to reduce the number of phone calls we've been having each week to 3 or fewer. She needs more time to herself to deal with challenges she's been facing, but everything is fine in our relationship. I was shocked, Abby, because we've been talking 2 or 3 more times a day, as well as exchanging text messages, and now she wants much less and canceled our next in-person get-together. My girlfriend continued to insist everything is just fine. We can have the same relationship with just less contact. Gee, Abby, what do you think?
Time to move on to the Midwest.
Maybe she's trying to let you down easy.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
But you know what? We're the same way. If you're in there, you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You think yours is different.
Yeah. I know.
That poor bastard is in for nothing but heartache.
I know. And again, it's just it's a bummer.
She's met someone, obviously.
Clearly.
Or she's got a crush on somebody.
Well, or she's just, you're not it.
Or she's
You're
a
not
slut.
Maybe she's a
She's a
tramp.
slut or a
Well,
trollop,
obviously
a
she's
tramp.
a tramp. That she's obviously cheating on you.
Lady is a
But
tramp.
again, you're not her one. You're not her guy.
Not yet.
Maybe she told you no first. Oh, sorry. No, that's not a flashback or anything. Maybe you didn't realize until 15 years later that you really weren't the one she wanted. After all, you kind of forced her into a thing there, and then she really wasn't that interested. So maybe I got that all wrong. Well, anyway, I'll tell you who never gets it wrong. Wise RV Glass, ladies and gentlemen.
You're ahead of me now.
They never get that wrong. Wise RV Glass. I love this company. They're a great idea. Their dad, Carl, retired last year, and son Russell's taken over things and doing a great job with Wise, W-I-S-E, Wise RV Glass, which is the company that will replace any glass problems you have in your RV or motor coach or camper. Maybe your double pane windows got fogged up, or there's a crack, or maybe a little spider pane, something or other. Maybe that big one-piece flat windshield that's hard to find got a crack in it, or a dot or a smear or something, whatever. An interior mirror, exterior, whatever, any glass issue, windshields, everything in between. To save you time and money, Wise RV Glass will come to you and use your own window frame to save you time and money. All mobile service. And don't be afraid, no job's too small or too big. If you have a fleet of cars that needs attention, boom, they're in for you. Wise RV Glass. And don't, if it's just a rear view mirror, you don't want to mess with it, call them, they'll come out to you. That's what they do. All over North Georgia, all of Metro Atlanta, that's what they do for a living. Don't be afraid to call them. Here's a phone number. 470-345-6521. And on the web, wiservglass.com.
I have a question here.
Yes.
On Twitter, every once in a while, you get somebody who follows you and you follow them back.
Yeah.
And then they either want to sell you or they're trying to, find a husband or something
Yeah.
from overseas. And
Yeah.
they go, hello, how are you? And I usually do not answer back because it's never something good.
Yeah.
And this woman did it. And she goes, hello, how are you? And I just ignored it. So she has now written back, are you a robot?
She's asking you if you're a robot?
If I'm a robot. So should I?
Yes. Say yes, I am.
Yes. I should just answer yes.
That is affirmative. There you go. That is affirmative.
That is affirmative.
Do it right now and see if she writes back
Or
to
no,
you
you
right
should.
now. We'll
No,
do it
you
on
don't.
the
You
show.
don't. You want to avoid yes or no. So just go back with a question. A very dull question.
how could you tell or something like that?
What are you talking about?
You are on to me. Dang.
Well, let's see if she responds.
I'll do it the Coneheads used to say. Mebs.
I don't even know what that
She
means.
won't get that. She was too young. If you say Mebs to somebody, they get it. That's a cool person. Mebs.
Meps?
Mebs. That's what
Mebs?
Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin, when they were Coneheads, that was their curse word.
Oh my God, I
Mebs.
forgot about that. That was a pretty funny
It
movie.
was a hellaciously funny
that
movie.
was a pretty
Chris
funny
Farley,
movie.
David Spade was
Yeah.
in it. Michael McKean was.
Yeah.
That was a
pretending they didn't notice that they had cone heads.
They were from France.
You had to kind of, you had to break away from reality a little bit there, but
consume massive quantities.
Yes, his teeth unhinged for the.
Come on, it's funny as hell.
It was a
Lorraine Newman?
That was a funny movie.
Please.
Let's see. Some birthdays in the news here today, if you don't mind. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys is 80 today.
Well, you're gonna, when you hit puberty, you're
Yeah.
no longer going to be able to compete against
Brian
women.
Wilson has been deaf in his right ear his entire life.
What?
Hello?
His entire life?
His entire life. I did not know that.
I did not.
Lionel Richie, 73 today. I like his songs. John Goodman, the actor, 70. Nicole Kidman, 55. Anne Murray is 77 years old. Her song Snowbird, made her the first Canadian woman with a #1 hit in America. I interviewed her back in, about 19, this was, it must have been 1972 or 3 or 4, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
In person, she came into a town in Atlanta, and I remember she had the most beautiful blue eyes.
Did you hit on her?
No.
'Cause I think she plays for the
she's
other
gay.
team.
I think she's
Yeah.
a lesbian, but I would have, although I was married, and I would never hit on a girl when I'm married. But she was very nice, very sweet. She did. I didn't get any sexy vibes out of her, and I guess that's because she wasn't giving any. But I remember, and I remember telling her too. She had really beautiful blue eyes
And great voice.
very nice woman,
Very
and
pretty
great
voice.
singer. Anne Murray, 77. Candy Clark, you know that name?
No.
American Graffiti, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
She was that goofy blonde.
She was supposed to be huge.
Yeah. She's 75 years old today.
It never really hit for her,
Yeah.
did it?
And she played that funny blondie girl who was skinny and
In fact,
goofy.
there was another guy in there who was supposed to hit it big, and he didn't either. But Suzanne Summers, Harrison Ford, Richard Dreyfuss, they all.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah,
Dreyfuss
Richard
in there?
Dreyfuss became huge. Suzanne Summers was the blonde in the Thunderbird.
Yeah,
in
and
the
Harrison
White
was
T-bird.
the guy in the car.
Harrison Ford was the drag racer who took the little girl around who had sex with Mick Jagger.
Let's don't go there.
Well, it's true.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Oreo Cookie
Oh no.
has just announced
Yeah.
a line of delicious frozen Oreo treats. Look at all those things you can buy now.
Well, they're all ice cream types.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
all-
That's good. I
yeah.
like that.
Ice cream, dilly bars type, snow cone stuff.
Oh, you know what I had at the lake this weekend?
What did you have at the lake this weekend?
Cammie, family friend, she made homemade chocolate chip cookies, and then put vanilla ice cream in the middle with like a little sandwich.
Yeah.
And then put them in the freezer for a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know where
classic.
where you can buy them? Trader Joe's has that exact thing. A
Really?
chocolate chip cookie. It's massive, and in between, it's got chocolate chips and the cookie and the ice cream, vanilla ice cream, and it's unbelievable.
Should I tell you 2 things my mother used to make back in the 1950s and
Okay,
60s?
but just two.
If you take frosting, whenever she had extra frosting from making cakes and stuff, and she made it all homemade frosting, I think I mentioned this the other day, she would take graham crackers and cut them into, or snap them into squares, and make frosting sandwiches, basically. Put a big chunk, like an inch, good full inch of frosting between 2 graham crackers, and put a whole bunch of them together, and put them in aluminum foil, tin foil, and put them in the freezer, and freeze them. And the graham crackers they don't get crusty, freezy, but they get a little more moist, and so it's more like a cookie of frosting sandwich. They're really delicious. Yeah. And the other thing she used to do is, back before they had all these fancy desserts, she would go buy just a pack of chocolate wafers, just the thin cookie wafers, little teeny, really, really teeny little thin wafers. And then she would take them out of the bag, and she would make whipped cream, homemade whipped cream, and put them between the chocolate wafers and put a big stack of them in a row, a big, like Oreo cookies look like, only with whipped cream between the chocolate wafers, and freeze those and break those out as a snack. I'll tell you what.
Last Christmas, I saw this recipe from the 1800s, British recipes of desserts, and one was some raspberry swirl thing where you made your own.
Yeah.
That's a pain
Nice.
in the ass.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And after I did it, it tasted good, but I thought, that's too big of a pain in the ass when I can go to the store and buy Cool Whip.
Yeah, right. And by the way, Cool Whip, it's got nothing. It's got like 1 calorie and no fat. I mean, you could eat a bin of that stuff and it wouldn't affect. And I could eat a bin of that stuff. It's not as good as my homemade whipped cream, but Cool Whip is damn close. It's
Our
good.
good review of Cool Whip. Holy crap, it's real estate.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir. Get real estate help with Joe Huggins of Keller Williams. Provides a cash offer that converts into a mortgage. Shazam!
Oh, my God, man.
You need cash offers to win in today's market. Work with a Kimmer fan, Joe Huggins. Find him online at joehugginsrealtor.com. Call him 770-599-5750. Real estate with unreal service. Let me give that number again. 770-599-5750.
There you are. And cue him. Let's see. Bob Villa, 76. This old house, remember that guy?
Yes, yes.
From 1979 to 1989. He
He was
old
always
house.
funny when he was on
Tool Time?
Tool Time, when they would
Time,
always
yeah.
go back and forth.
You know, they got that show back. It's him, the two guys together, Tim Allen and the other guy, and a girl on there, and they have a real powerful, it's like a show on, what network would that be? Discovery or
Really?
something? Where they actually have real
Do
big
building
ass
stuff?
power tools. Yeah, making
Oh,
fun
I
of
saw. I think I saw one episode of building something. They have to. Was it a contest to see?
No, it's just them playing with tools.
Is that, I
basically.
think I saw one of that. It was a couple of years ago, I think. Is they still doing it?
They're still doing it.
Let's see. In music history, 1969, a 3-day music festival in Newport, California shows how the industry has changed. Check this out. The acts for a 3-day music festival: Ike and Tina Turner, Marvin Gaye, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Rascals, The Byrds, Steppenwolf, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Janis Joplin, Eric Burton and the Animals, and more. Tickets for the 3-day festival in 1969 for the 3 days, $15.
Did you see how much Hendrix got paid?
Jimi Hendrix was paid $125,000 at that time, was the highest amount ever paid anybody ever for a concert. In 1969, $125,000. And the ticket's $15 for 3 days. Paul McCartney in 2004 on this day did a gig in St. Petersburg, Russia, and wanted to make sure it didn't rain during the concert. So Paul McCartney hired 3 jet airplanes to fly into the clouds and spray dry ice into the sky so it wouldn't rain. It was McCartney's 3,000th concert appearance. He did 2,535 concerts with the Quarrymen and the Beatles, 140 gigs with Wings, and 325 solo shows. 2,535 concerts with the Beatles?
Yeah, because in Hamburg they literally played
2,500.
They played 3 shows a day and night in Hamburg.
2019, the frontman for Pink Floyd, David Gilmour, set some records at a Christie's auction in New York City. His most iconic instrument, the head guy for Pink Floyd, his most iconic instrument was called the so-called Black Strat, sold for $3.9 million. His guitar.
Whose guitar?
Pink Floyd's
Gilmour,
lead
yeah.
guy, David Gilmour.
The true power behind
The Black
Pink
Strat, the famous Black Strat, $3.9 million. His 1954 Fender Stratocaster with a serial number 0001, which he played for Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, went for $1.8 million. A Gretsch White Penguin guitar went for $500,000. A 1955 Gibson Gold Top Les Paul model, also used on Another Brick, sold for about $500,000. All of them world records for the front man, Pink Floyd's David Gilmour. They were pretty cool. Now, a couple of quick historical notes. Let's see, 1975, this was the day the summer blockbuster movie Jaws was released. Speaking of Richard, what's his name?
Dreyfuss.
Dreyfuss. 1893, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Although there was no blood evidence and no murder weapon. Her mother, apparently her father-in-law, was a real jerk, and she was charged with their murders, but they couldn't convict her because there was no evidence.
Yeah, Christina Ricci did a movie a few years ago that was pretty good. One thing about Jaws, before the movie came out, my mom let me get the book and read the book because no, the movie's coming out, no big deal. There's an affair in the book, a sexual affair between
The sheriff?
Dreyfus and the sheriff's wife.
Oh,
So the whole movie, I'm sitting there going,
When's he
can't
gonna
wait
bang
till
a
this
wife?
comes. And he never does.
Oh my God, be darned. I had no idea.
Because they had to put some sex in there for some reason, and they decided
Well,
the
I'm
movie
glad
didn't
they
need it.
left it out. That would have been stupid. It's like, the scene in Caddyshack when they do a couple of really dumb,
With the Scottish
just come out
girl.
of, it was wrong. Anyway, 1947, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel is gunned down at the Beverly Hills mansion of his girlfriend, Virginia Hill. The mob was ticked off at his ballooning Las Vegas project, the Flamingo, which was up to like $6 million all of a sudden, and that time money in 1947. The movie The Godfather, Mo Green, was basically based on his character. Bugsy Siegel shot in the eye at the massage table.
And he was right. He was just ahead of his time.
Yep. And there's not a plaque or a monument to Mo Green to this day. That was my acting of the old guy. Here. The old guy.
Fredo.
And to this day, there's not one thinker. Sorry.
Which actor did that line?
That was the old guy, the acting teacher who said, a smaller piece.
Oh, Lee Strasberg.
Lee Strasberg.
Yeah. Okay.
There's not one. Sorry. 1967. Muhammad Ali. Well, remember when he said, Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel. Anyway, 1967, Muhammad Ali is convicted in Houston of violating selective service laws after earlier refusing to answer when his name is called 3 times at his scheduled induction. He was silent, he was arrested and convicted, but the Supreme Court overturned that conviction because he was a famous boxer.
Yeah, that's all.
And who decided, I'm a Muslim. Yeah, I'm a Muslim. I got drafted. I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's all right. I took your place. It's okay. I was very happy to do it. 1793. Eli, that's what we used to say, but I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Was wrong. We used to say that.
Say it.
We used to say, that's okay. I'm glad you got to stay home. I went for you instead. That's okay. I was glad to go.
Muhammad Ali was not the hero people think he was. I'm not even talking about Vietnam. I'm talking about other crap
just
he
other
did.
stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah, and the women, and I mean,
What he did to Joe Frazier, please.
Oh, I mean, demeaned and ridiculed and just horrible things. I mean, he messed up Joe Frazier. I mean, he really messed up.
He was saying that Frazier was the tool of the white man, and he was the white
Tom,
guy,
right?
Uncle Tom, and all that.
Cracker.
Joe Frazier grew up on the mean streets of Philadelphia and brought himself up.
Yeah.
Ali Cassius Clay grew up in the suburbs of Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, right. Showing off for the kids on how strong he was.
Please.
Let's see. 1793, Eli Whitney changed the concept of mass production when he applied for his patent on the cotton.
That damn Yankee,
gin.
he caused the war.
He caused the war.
'Cause
Now
you
they
know
can
what?
Get all
Slavery-
that cotton.
Cotton probably would have died out because they couldn't afford to keep doing and pay slaves to keep them.
Yeah.
And he made it efficient.
Yeah. 1950, Willie Mays graduated from high school and immediately signed with the New York Giants. And sorry, I'm going to tell my Willie Mays story. 1782. Much to the chagrin of Benjamin Franklin, Congress adopted the Great Seal of the United States. It depicts an eagle clutching an olive branch in one talon and 13 arrows in the other.
You just said it was a seal.
In its beak is the motto E pluribus unum, or
Eat my shorts.
or rub us before we take out your pluribus. Out of many one is the thing. Ben Franklin wrote his daughter, he said the turkey was a much more respectable bird.
Did you see the turkeys walking around the course yesterday?
Yeah, and by the way, when I grew up in New England, they were all over the place. I mean, they were all over the place in Western Mass.
I was so hoping it was going for that ball. I wanted him to get that ball.
On my golf course, the Donald Ross course where I grew up, there were turkeys all over the place.
What's the rule? The U.S. Open, if it picks up your ball and walks off with it?
You get to put it back.
Oh, okay.
Or if he puts it in some cases where they've flown over a pond and dropped it in the water. And they get to replace it as near as you can determine.
Can you train the turkey?
Anyway, I don't know. Made any donations lately, Pete? Anywhere trying to donate things and maybe give you a hard time about it or anything?
Donate.
Well, Piggy,
yeah,
just
I'm
curious,
glad
trying to wonder whether or not there's any.
It's like, what the hell is he talking about? Jeez Louise.
Part of the team here. So it's just
There's a man in
setting
England.
you up there. What's that?
There's a man in England. He's in his 60s,
Yeah.
I'd say. 60s, 70s. He has donated blood like a good man his entire life.
Well, there you are.
Shows up in England to donate blood, and they said, well, fill out this questionnaire. He goes, okay, no problem. No, I've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It says, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
He laughs. He doesn't mark it. He laughs, moves on, hands her the thing, and she goes, oh, you didn't fill this out here. He goes, what are you talking about? There, are you pregnant? He goes, please, come on. No, you have to fill this out. He goes, I'm not filling that out. I'm a man. What do you think? And he refused. He stood his ground. He says, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to fill that out. And they refused to take his blood to save lives because he wouldn't play along with their fucking woke game about, am I pregnant?
So some little child is going to die with a lack of transfusion because he didn't tell me he might have been a girl after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you make it official like that, it's one thing to
official
say that to
stupidity.
your friends when you're discussing or whatever, but come on.
I hope he sticks his ground. By the way, I think they're making, this may be a joke, but I think they're making a Barbie movie.
Yeah.
A Ken and Barbie movie.
Barbie
You know who Ken
movie?
is?
Ken is Ryan Gosling, and Barbie is Margot Robbie. And here's a photo.
Oh my!
She looks hot.
Well, she's a good-looking
Oh,
woman,
my
but he's got a white blonde hair,
Yeah,
like a surfer.
that probably
dude.
if they do it like they did Scooby Doo, which was funny.
It'll be entertaining.
What could be the plot, though?
There's got to
Oh,
be.
they're
no
gonna
plot.
save the world somehow.
Oh yeah, she's
Well,
going to be
but
a
how-
spy.
What
or
if
something.
Ken? I mean, they have a
She's
car and
gonna
a house.
change outfits 1,000 times.
But it's not like G.I. Joe where they're going to go fight the war. I mean, but they
He's
have a
gonna
house and a
come out
car.
as
What,
gay.
what, they're going to go to the beach and
She's going to out him.
Oh man!
And she'll be dating a black guy at the beach. You know what's going to
Well, maybe
happen
it'll be
here.
like Dumb and Dumber. It'll have some value of some kind.
The redheaded
Yeah,
liver-
because you can't do that now. A white, pretty girl and a white, good-looking
make fun
guy.
of it.
you know,
you
I-
can't
they
do
can't
that.
have
That's
them
wrong.
together. He's got to be gay, and she's going to date a
Last
white
night,
guy.
I'm watching a commercial or something, and they showed this guy's a nice white guy, and he's wearing his Dockers, talking about how he wants a V8 or something, and they pan over on the couch next to him is his beautiful black wife, who's talking like a white girl. Jesus, it's every commercial now. It's a black guy and a white girl, or a black girl and a white guy. I mean, it's every single one. It's unbelievable. And now the commercial about going to Chick-fil-A or something. They got to make sure that the star of it are like three black guys all of a sudden. I mean, it just I don't know. It's just really
yeah.
silly.
You said something there, and I was going to think about. Oh, Ms. Marvel. Do you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Marvel is another one of the Marvel movies, and it's basically a young Muslim girl who gets superpowers in Jersey City, Jersey. Okay,
It's a good place for Muslims to be there.
right. It's filmed here.
Really?
Guess what? They turn into a mosque.
Oh, let me guess. I'll guess the Varsity.
Close.
Really?
Well, the funny thing is, this isn't one of the world's biggest mosques in Atlanta.
Well, one of the world's biggest Hindu shrines is here, out 70
Yeah, that's what I
Lawrenceville
heard.
Highway. It's beautiful, by the way. It's beautiful.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
I think that's
And
right.
one of the biggest Mormon temples is here too, by the way. What looks like a mosque? Think about it. Downtown,
The Fox Theater.
the Fox
The Fox Theater,
and they
that's
make
right.
it into a huge mosque.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Have you been? You should take a ride. Like they have a rooftop bar and stuff now, and it's
Yeah,
really cool
it's
just to
supposed
go
to be
check out and kind of just.
My
Where,
friend
the
used,
Fox?
Yeah.
my friend used to help run that, and
I'm
she
not
moved
going
to
downtown. Last time I went to the
Daniels.
Fox with the final wife, went to the Fox, parked at that place right next to the Fox, indoor parking, and the guy was then I said indoor parking. So he said, oh yeah, we're all night long. Oh, that's great. So I parked my car, come back out of the Fox after the performance, and my car's broken into. It was her Mercedes, and I was broken into, and everything's gone. And the next day I called. Oh yeah, we're there till like 8:30. I said, you said you'd be there for the performance. I mean, unbelievable. I'm not going down there. It's downtown. I'm not going downtown.
It takes something.
There's nothing's
special
going to get
now.
me downtown.
I'll go meet a friend at Manuel's, and that's about it right now.
Manuals is far enough away, but I'm not going down.
Yeah, plus Manuals isn't like in downtown, so Manuals is definitely more on the.
Well, you can get around.
You get to Virginia Highlands or something.
Freedom
I'll take
Parkway
that, but
area.
I'm not going downtown.
Then I'll
Atlanta.
drive down to Midtown and do donuts there in the street because it pisses them off.
Yeah, there you go. Just like everybody else does all weekend, apparently.
Oh, by the way, speaking of cats,
Yes.
I love seeing posters for lost cats. Your cat isn't lost, man. Cats don't get lost.
Yeah.
Your cat left you.
Yeah, it's over.
Mindy Larkin posted something today. She was a cat.
Used to work with Mindy. Great girl.
Yeah, she was a cat. Works Fox 5. There was a cat in front of her welcome mat. She goes, "I don't have a cat, but in my defense, I did put the welcome mat out, and I sent that to her. That there's no lost cat."
It'll eat your eyes while you sleep.
There's a great meme. There's a guy sitting there. It's a hot day. You can tell it's a hot summer day, and he's holding up a Corona. That's what you see in the foreground.
Yeah.
In the background, there's a pregnant woman pushing a lawnmower. It says, if she can push a stroller, she can push a mower. Stay woke, boys.
I love it.
The school debate is so easy. Either provide schools with the same security as politicians or provide politicians with the same security as schools.
I like it.
It's over and hoppy. Okay,
I
you want a
like
quiz?
it. What a great way to put it.
Yeah. it's
That's
great.
a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Let's be equal.
Let the elite fend for themselves. Okay, here we go. Get your pen and paper out.
All right.
Kimmer,
Hold
see
on.
who wins this. I'm ready. Basically, places you've been to. Places you've been to.
All right.
And visited. Ready?
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty,
Yeah.
Grand Canyon, Walt Disney World, Zion National Park, Space Needle, Hollywood Sign, Las Vegas Strip,
Yeah.
Times Square,
Yeah.
Yellowstone, Everglades, Pikes Peak, the Chicago River, hell, that's there, Washington Monument, Mount Rushmore, the French Quarter, Golden Gate Bridge, and Riverwalk. What numbers do we have there, boys? What numbers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
See, counts them out phonetically.
12.
11. I've got 11.
You got 11, you got 12.
I got
All right.
12.
All
1,
right.
2, 3, 4, 5,
That's the
6,
first
7,
half,
8,
so you're
9,
one
10,
behind. Let's
11,
see if you can
12.
catch up. In the
Oh, there's
second
more?
half. Yeah. Niagara Falls,
Slowly I turned.
Mall of America.
Mall of America?
Mall
That's
of
Minneapolis, right?
No, it's
Isn't it? Where's Mall of America?
Conyers. Yeah, it's Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, right? Yeah.
Gateway Arch, Empire State Building, the Road to Hannah. What the hell is the Road to Hannah?
Don't know what that is.
Hana. Never heard of it. Fort Sumter, the Alamo, Wright Brothers Memorial. Went there last year. The White House, Yosemite National Park, the Liberty Bell, Central Park, South Beach, Arlington Cemetery, St. Augustine, Lake Tahoe, and Alcatraz.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Only had 5 on this one.
So I guess
9.
Kimmer wins.
What do I get?
A cookie.
Yeah.
My hearty handshake. Dean Norris. You know who Dean Norris is?
Yes.
Who is
The bald guy actor who plays like, oh God. I can't, I'm seeing his roles in his acting, and I can't. The words won't come
Breaking
out.
Bad.
Okay, yeah.
He's the brother-in-law.
yeah,
the cop.
right. Not Walt. Oh God.
What's his name, Kimmer?
Oh, I hate this. Wait a minute. Hold
Call
on.
me Heisenberg.
You know what I watched on Facebook
What-
this
what'd you watch
weekend?
on Facebook?
My brother-in-law, Hank.
Hey.
My nephew's name.
Dean
The
Norris,
interview of Frank Abagnale. You remember him?
Yeah.
On
Catch Me
Johnny
If You Can.
Carson.
Yeah.
He was on Johnny Carson. And I didn't realize, like, some of the smaller storylines in the movie, like, remember him with the hooker? The expensive hooker? What's her name? What was her name?
I don't remember.
God, I know.
It was,
He lived in Atlanta for a long
yeah,
time.
lived in Marietta. But, anyways,
We're all real forgetful now.
what is her name? Not Jennifer Aniston. It's,
Chastain? Or?
anyways, there was a funny scene where, you know how he did the fake checks? Well, he had a high-end escort he took to dinner, and he was going back and forth on how much. And he ended up having a cashier's check, and she was like, why don't you give me the cashier's check? He's like, I'm not going to give you this. And it's for $1,000. And she's like, all right, well, I'll give you $1,400 and you just give it to me. So she paid him $400 to have sex with him.
Pretty good. Well, Dean Morris is obviously a flaming liberal. He said, you're not getting robbed at the pump. You're paying fair market price for a commodity. If you love capitalism so much, then shut the blank up.
Yeah. That's kind of harsh. Like
asshole.
people are
Elitist
thinking that this is
asshole.
just the way the economy works. Please. There
He's
hasn't
an
been
idiot.
things like this in decades.
And guess who's come out with a new nail polish? It's called
Jennifer Garner.
Oh, Jennifer
It's
Garner.
let's just say it's
like Jennifer Garner.
edible.
Yeah, she is. I would say so, too.
No, we're talking about the nail
totally
polish.
misunderstood. Well, you started it.
It's a cheese.
Well, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
It's not a cheese. It's like a cheese.
What?
Velveeta has come out with a nail polish.
Velveeta.
La Dolce Velveeta
What, do you eat your fingernails?
and finger
If you
food
if you
red.
chew your nails?
It makes your nails look as smooth as Velveeta when it's
God.
melted.
Well, I'll bet it
Gross.
works. I bet they'll make $1 million.
Julie says, by the way, Julie's our artist.
Oh, yeah, Julie sent me that beautiful picture.
Yeah. By the way, tell Kimber to use some self-tanning lotion on his legs so he can wear shorts.
I don't care.
Brown
about-
fat or saggy skin looks better than white fat.
Actually, my legs aren't that bad. I may wear shorts in here one day for the hell of it.
And a former coworker of ours was in the U.S. Open yesterday.
A former
I
coworker
sent you the
of
commercial.
ours? Tom Clark. I can't
Major
believe
Tom was in a commercial of the
Major
U.S.
Tom.
Open, playing grandfather roles now.
it. God, he was like doing part-time stuff when we were at GST.
It's Saturday Morning
years
Live.
ago. Yeah, that's right too.
Him and
that's
Keith
right
Callan
too.
and Jeremy and-
wasn't his brother also?
Oh, Crash Clark is
Crash
Living
Clark was
Alive.
the traffic guy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
much more.
Tom
host.
Clark was also in Secretariat, the movie. He
Yeah.
played the reporter at the end doing the interviews. He's been in a bunch of things, actually. Small parts, but he's been in a lot
done
of
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Good guy. Him and Crash both. Ray in Philadelphia says, damn it, Kimmer. Damn it, Kim. You're doing your hash browns wrong.
Oh,
Sorry
no.
you didn't like the Jimmy Dean hash browns. I cooked my steak on the grill using it like a closed oven. And the hash browns are utterly delicious when they bake on the top grill for about 15 minutes.
Oh, instead of the microwave. Well, that makes. In fact, I still have some. I'll try that.
Try that.
I was kind of disappointed.
It's not good.
Burrito was good,
Burrito's
but
great.
the hash browns were not.
Pixar's new Toy Story movie, the one where,
Yeah.
they took Tim
Boy,
Allen out and
yeah,
they
the
put
kiss
the
of the two
lesbian kiss
girls.
in there,
Yeah.
bombed over the weekend.
Yeah, didn't they spend $200 million making it and it got $50 million in or something?
Yeah.
That'll teach you.
That'll teach you. Of course, now it's time for Bad Tex Theater.
There
He's
we
left
go.
the room.
Oh, hey, hi-yo.
All right. Well, all right, we're going to do the two
Was that
women.
one of your oatmeal cookies?
Yes.
The
Well, I'm
two,
glad they're good use. Then.
the two ladies talking to each other in the cartoon. Is it time for that one?
Yeah.
I'll be
Is that more of a visual, though?
No. It's not. I'll be the second lady. You be the first lady.
All right. You should try yoga. It makes you relaxed, flexible, and loose.
So does vodka without all that sweating.
All right, boys. Look out.
Tex.
I gotta go. You're killing me. It's only me. Boys, have a great day. And hoorah and Semper Fi. And I gotta go. You're killing me. Semper Fi and hoorah.